members only and is intended for audiences 18 years and older. All opinions and information on Gunter and Shamrockseven are solely those of the host, the guest, and the audience, and are not necessarily shared by VRChat or its affiliates. During the show, please be mature. To be here, you have to be mature. If you're not mature, go ahead, just get back to the hub. Be polite or stay seated. This is not a time to run around, jump. You can't jump in this room, do that on purpose. Or go show each other your avatar tricks. That's a better place for the hub or any other room in VRChat. This is all about giving Shamrock attention and me a little bit, attention. And if there's problems with your mic and it's just making a lot of noise, or if you're being an asshole, you're gonna get kicked right out. So please don't be one of them. And I assume everybody here's already cool. I can already tell when you start a show, this is starting very well, very calm, very much mature people. And some of them are not like that, unfortunately. Sometimes that's fun though. Make fun out of it. And that's pretty much it.
Oh, yes, if your New Year's seats are in the second and fourth rows.
Yeah, have a seat. Don't be shy. Welcome. Mac, you've been here before. How's it going? Find yourself a seat.
Snake, you want to switch places?
It's a beautiful audience. Shamrock, what do you think of this audience?
It's amazing.
Cats in the freeze.
Slick Rick's here. That means we're ready to go.
All right.
Alright, exactly. And I'm just gonna hit some buttons. Oh shoot. Oh shoot again. So this is when I'm about to start the show. This is when everything messes up. So you guys get ready.
That's how it is.
You know, isn't that how it is?
You gotta break a leg, man. It's fine.
So hard. Everything goes wrong, but that's part of the fun of it too. Let's see. Yeah. So back in the day, we used to have cameras that you could switch to, and it's really sweet. And you see it floating around and panning around. Back in the day, these video streams used to work, and we could have shown Shamrock stuff on it, but we cannot today. VRChat upgraded and has lots of great extra stuff, but some of these things broke. The good news is a new set is on its way. GN3, as we saw the other day, the camera system was working great in his live studio there, and all that text can be put in here, plus much more. I can't wait to share that with you guys.
It's really incredible.
We know how to talk. We don't need anything else except our voices. We can entertain for many
honestly,
days.
I gotta be honest with you.
You streamed for days, I think, in a row, right?
Oh, I have been streaming like not straight. No, I actually, believe it or not, I've been getting more rest because of how exhausting it gets at the end of the day because of how engaging the game is. But I didn't know I was gonna be the only guest. Now I feel honored. My God.
Oh well, hell yeah. I mean, sometimes I do a panel. Sometimes I don't have a guest, and it's me and Bob talking about news and VR stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes we grab some people from the community. Yeah.
Sometimes just some people from the community to tell us about their life, to get to know the people behind the avatars. I really enjoy those kinds of shows. That's a bit of what this is, basically. I want to learn about Shamrock the person a bit. I want to learn about streaming. I want to learn about, of course, VRChat and your experiences, and just talk about VR a bit. That's kind of what I've got on my list to go through here. Cool.
Well, where do you want me to begin then?
I'm going to start some intro music. Everybody go to your system, go to your sound effects. Normally you have those things turned down because in some worlds it's just too loud. But all I have for you is a quick little intro, so pump that music up so you can see it, or you can hear it, and then you'll feel the love, you'll feel like giving emojis, you'll feel like cheering. So when things do get started, cheer us on, make us feel love.
Turn down your microphone.
In the limelight. So,
I can kind of hear you breathing.
That's it. Any objections to starting now? By the way, we can hear whispers too, so definitely it's nice to say, hey man, don't talk stuff, but basically even whispering is sort of interrupting, and it's okay. You don't have to worry about, being perfect. Interruptions are not that bad. If you have a question or something, you can throw it out there. It's really not that formal.
Chill.
You didn't have to come dressed in your tuxedo. It's okay. It's chill. It's chill. But it's not out of control, because that's just, nobody wants to see an out of control event.
Right.
Okay, I've blabbed enough. Let's start things here. I'm going to start the music in 3, 2...
VRChat, the next frontier.
These are the experiences from Gunter's universe. His continuing mission? To seek out and connect with VR devs and passionate enthusiasts. To discuss theories, beliefs, and rhetoric of all kind. And to boldly go where no show has ever gone before.
Welcome back to Gunter's Universe, everyone. It's amazing. It's amazing. Look at all these great, beautiful avatars and people.
Of how amazing it was.
Nico, sit next to us.
Yes, it's quite the thing to witness. Right here. I'm glad you guys are back. This is the show where we discuss VR and we interview some of the movers and shakers in the VR and tech industry, along with other entertainers and personalities. Tonight I got one of those personalities and entertainers. It's Zach Zier. How do I say your last name?
You can call me Jack.
Jack? Sorry, Jack.
It's okay.
I
Man, that's my Twitter. He's
Jack
going
together.
deep, guys.
Oh man, I went and found you all over the webs. I know everything about. Yeah, I'm gonna get.
Okay.
That's what you do. You stalk people on the intertubes before you interview them.
That's networking. It's just high-level stalking in a business format.
Exactly. And we know you though as Shamrockseven because that's the name of your stream. And I met you this last weekend. And once I tuned into your stream, I couldn't stop watching. It was really great. And besides being a streamer, Sham is an artist, designer, illustrator, as well as a hero. And without further ado, let's welcome the one and only Shamrockseven to the show, everyone. Yeah,
Thank
Shamrock. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you, guys.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Sham.
Yeah, man. Sham.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if everybody knows a lot about your background. Even maybe, I don't know if your streamers or the people that watch your stream all the time even know. So hopefully we're going to dig into some new stuff, new content.
To be honest,
where you're...
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
What were you going to say, to be honest?
I was just going to say, to be honest, the viewers that are watching me now are mostly VRChat viewers, and a lot of the people that used to watch me are still watching the same game right now.
Very sweet. Well, welcome everybody watching through Sham's perspective. That's always very cool is to see what
I'm
it's
actually
like
not
to be
streaming
there.
right now. I'm putting
I
full
thought you were.
business. No, this is full.
That's right.
Unless you'd like me to, I'll fire it up right this second, my brother. But I was just going to give you full attention.
Oh, thank you very much, and also all of you guys. So it doesn't matter to me, man. Let's just rock and roll. Currently, where are you from, or where are you in the universe?
I am currently from Washington State, and I'm currently at Washington State in this universe.
Okay.
Beautiful place. I love it.
We talked a little bit that you've lived in a lot of different places. So you're telling me you actually are from Washington and now back there, but there's also a lot of in between.
I've lived in Texas and Florida. I lived for a very short period of time in Ohio. I've traveled through and around in California. I've been to Jamaica and a couple of other places, Mexico. I've traveled, but I haven't been to Europe. I haven't been to the other side of the rock, but I've traveled a lot around North America. And every time I go home to Washington State, it's just ridiculous. It's like, well, why did I leave in the first place?
Sure.
It's just
I'm the same. I've traveled North America and some of the islands as well. Never Europe, and we've got so many friends. I'm sure you have European friends now. It's impossible to not make them here.
You're like the 6th or 7th American guy I've even met in VRChat. the universality, like the global sort of community in VRChat is immense. It's incredible.
All of Romania. I know there's a Romanian community now. They have their own Discord that's just for people, Romanians in Discord. It's crazy. It's blowing up. Obviously, we know that. We see that. And you lived in Florida? That's where I'm at. I'm in South Florida, near West Palm Beach area. Where were you?
I was in Winter Park. I went to Full Sail University when I lived there. Yeah, I actually have a bachelor's degree in character art, and
right on the corner.
Yeah. So sadly, I'm 6 years out of practice though, and everything's changed since. So I still have a piece of paper to wave around though.
Yeah, the foundations are there. The foundations of having the eye of, what makes a good composition and that stuff. So learning the tools. I know you don't use Unity. I remember hearing you mention Maya, that you come from a Maya background. Am I getting that right?
No, I don't have the license for it anymore. It's just been too many years, but I do know mine pretty well. And my favorite is ZBrush. All of it.
Yeah. ZBrush is very nice. I wish we could show some of your artwork up on these screens, but unfortunately we cannot. And welcome those that are just, we don't want to see that. I looked through your Twitter, man. There's some cool shit.
Thank you. You're too kind, man.
Yeah, man. Artists are awesome. And so are you just professionally now a Twitch streamer, or do you still do as a job any of that kind of stuff? Are you doing 3D modeling? You're not. Sound like you're not.
I wouldn't say it's professionally. Unfortunately, I'm not a partnered streamer yet. I'm still an affiliated streamer. It probably will be that way for a while because they have some. They have raised the bar a little bit for partners, and there's way more partners now. So it's a little bit of a wishy-washy situation, but it's what I love to do, right? That's something that I care about, and I'm really passionate about, showing off video games. And has recently been significantly augmented by the live experience of streaming VRChat. It's quite phenomenal.
I think you're hooked, right? You're addicted. You've got the bug.
Yeah, I'm way more hooked than any of the people that got interested in the game. So like I have a couple of buddies that came in. I've got like Cletus Buford, who's a streamer as well. He's a bigger streamer than me. He's a great guy. I have a couple of like Jinx and a couple of people that came in. Mr. Moon. I don't know if you've heard of Mr. Moon, but
I was watching your stream.
It out.
Yep.
He was watching my stream and saw the game.
He wanted the roller coaster. Or the twirly one before that. I wanted to say, no, get off the ride. You're going to get sick. No. Sometimes when you get this VR sickness, it comes on, like, oh, that's kind of sick, but I'm okay. And then you get off of it, and it's still, your sickness increases. So that's how it was in the very beginning for me. So it didn't seem like that happened to him, so that was very good.
It's nice that it's that powerful, though. You can go on a digital ride, and it gives you the stomach churn of the actual ride. Yeah. It's great. It's good. The brain is easy to trick. Such a
It is. It's that lizard brain, man, and fooling those senses and feeding off that reaction. If something flies at me in VR, I'm like, oh, my brain, I can't control that. It just
Your
ducks.
Brain's it's a natural biological reaction to dodge something. It's great. But yeah, I'm way more hooked than any of the people that I associate with so far, and I'm not going anywhere. I think we talked about it earlier. I'm setting my stake in the sand. A stake in the sand. Did I say that right? Am I Englishing yet?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I think so.
Okay, well, it was sort of that. I mentioned I related it to World of Warcraft. Not in the same game. It's not the same game as World.
Sure.
What I mean is the zeitgeist. Zeitgeist is the word I'd say.
Yeah.
When that game launched and came out and then became popular shortly after, it was huge. It was a mind blower.
Oh yeah.
Fucking
I was there.
People's minds. You know what I mean? Now that is World of Warcraft, and that's great and all. What I am experiencing now with VRChat is that same endorphin juice of just like, it's mind-blowingly new and incredible, and I'm never gonna step away. But we talked about tidal waves. It's like the beginning of a big tidal wave with this VR stuff, and it's like, I want to be on the surfboard this time. I don't want to be like with Twitch. I was years behind on Twitch. That's why I'm not a partnered streamer, and a lot of people who are big streamers, they were in Twitch early, right? That's their tidal wave. They made it. With VR, I don't want to miss that chance, and I'm already late to the game as is, you know?
If somebody wants to entertain in VR, you're not very late, actually, at all. And you can easily rock and roll, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to I'm
actually super excited about this podcast that's getting set up.
So we'll talk about that a little bit later. I do have some other questions to go through. Like, I think we're in a similar age. I don't know if you want to say your age, but I'm 36.
I'm 26 years old.
26. We're not of a similar age, but man, it feels like it.
You 36?
I'm 36. I'm 26? Older than most of you people.
Everybody thinks that I'm a lot older.
Yeah, it's that voice, man. You got that.
I was just a cool kid. See, I'm cool 26 and I like no effects. What's up? I was a cool kid, man. All right. Yeah, I was playing.
And did you go any rock concerts? Was that part of your?
Oh man, I went to Ozfest 2004.
Rock on.
2004, I think. They had like Slipknot and Marilyn Manson and fucking, oh my god.
I've seen Slipknot like 10 times.
I had orange hair.
It's ridiculous.
I had orange hair.
Nice. Wild. I had blue hair.
Nice. See, dude, it's that age. Man. It's that time. Cannot have a normal hair color. That's just not edgy enough for me, Mom!
Exactly. I need attention. Give it to me. Okay. What are some of your favorite old school games?
My favorite old school games? I have one tattoo on my body, and that is the 1-up mushroom from Super Mario World, specifically Super Mario World. And it's for a similar reason to my previous statement about World of Warcraft and VRChat, is that Super Mario World fucking popped the lid off of the world when it came out. It was a mind blower. It would change the way that people thought about colored games on the SNES. It was a ground setter for a lot of side-scrolled action that came to the SNES and never actually matched up to its greatness. So, believe it or not, one of my favorite classic games is Super Mario World. And of course, I'm a human being, so I also really like Ocarina of Time. But you know, that's about that. Yeah.
Super Nintendo is my favorite console. So, man,
absolutely.
Even though we're 10 years apart, man, we're right there in sync. I guess I have a young heart, and you have a cool. Yeah, it works out. Combine us, and we're like meeting 30. You know, 30's. You know, we're
there we go.
I don't know what I'm saying at this point. This is ridiculous. Yeah, it's combined.
Having a podcast by himself. If we combine, it's good.
And I heard you mention something about roller skating on your stream. I used to do tons of roller skating back in the day and listen to the jams. What the fuck,
yeah,
man?
It was, oh man, it's one of the songs that played in one of the clubs, and I was just like, I remember holding my girlfriend's hand at the roller rink to this song, and we're listening to it now, unironically in VR.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm hoping with motion trackers, feet trackers, maybe we can simulate some roller skating. Man, I want to roller skate again and hold all of your hands when we go around the rink. Dude, you've already done 100 hours in VRChat. Has it been a week yet?
It's been, I think, like 1 full week, I think. I think I didn't stream the first day, and I've been streaming it every day. Yeah, it's about a week. You know what? Let's see. Because the podcast idea came up and was only made serious after the impromptu one. And that was like the second. I don't know. You know what?
It was Saturday.
Let's call it a week. Let's call it
a week. 100 hours. I bet there's actually a lot of people here that can probably exceed that, actually, which just is...
I would not be surprised. There's some people that have been talking about sleeping in their VR helmets.
I've seen it. They're in the freaking campfire, having a little sleepover with their friends, and it's kind of interesting. I thought it was a little like, wow, you know, like... you just come back tomorrow and see these people.
Like, I was like, really? You're going to really sleep with it on? And then, like, the more I played it, I realized, like, yeah, there's sometimes, not all the time, but yeah, sometimes they just want to sleep in it. I understand it. And, you know, one thing I have to take from that is, like, how fucking crazy must it be waking up in VR? With, like, whoa. Wake up and you're like, whoa, that's,
whoa,
you, like, adjust your eyes to 3 anime girls caressing each other.
Or think that your real life was just a dream. Like, was that just a big dream and this is actually real life? It's virtual.
I know, right? Have to wake up in real life, touch your face to make sure there's not a VR headset on you. Like, oh thank God. Yeah. This is the real one. Spin your top
you're a little
on the
bit
table
hardcore,
and make sure
though,
that it doesn't or that it topples over. That's always the most important part.
You're hardcore though. I saw 4,600 because I can stalk. You can stalk easily. 4,600 hours in Final Fantasy 14.
I have, yeah, and it's more than that because that's only the amount that's been recorded on my Steam account. And then I was in the beta for the game, and that character is a legacy character transferred over to the current game.
Okay.
So, and it keeps all the game time from all of that, and if I do my in-game time, it's like over 300 days or something. It's like over a full year of in-game time.
You hearing this? You guys hearing this?
Hey, I like Final Fantasy more than World of Warcraft, so that's what happened to me.
Fuck yes.
Was Final Fantasy 7 a big deal for you? That growing up, that was getting the Sony PlayStation.
It was a big deal for me. Actually, man, these questions are fucking awesome, by the way. I gotta say, I was not expecting these. You know how to have a conversation with somebody. Anyway,
you too.
So Final Fantasy VII, I wasn't too young, but I was too young to care, if that makes sense.
Sure.
When it came out, and I only realized its greatness as an adult. Like, I went back and checked it out and, like, learned about the story, and then you realize how significant the story is. I do really significantly care about Final Fantasy VII. It's probably one of my favorites next to 4. I'm a huge fan of 4 with, like, Cecil becoming a Dark Knight and fighting through being a Dark Knight to become a Paladin is like, I don't know, it just has a cool story to it. It really does, and I love 4. But 7's great, and he's my main character on Smash Brothers. So
Sure.
that's how I roll. I haven't played it fucking over a year though. The Smash, so main character doesn't mean much there.
A couple more background characters, a couple more of these geek ones, just to
Dude,
to
I'm
get to know
ready
you.
for it.
Saturday morning cartoons, was that a thing in your life? Do you have any
Dexter, dude.
favorites?
Dexter's Laboratory, man. I'm a huge Dexter Laboratory fan.
Right on. Right on. I used to watch that actually in my first year of college, which is UCF, so
It's
same neck
like-
of the woods.
Dexter's Laboratory is like the Rick and Morty of children's time, you know, for kids
Sure.
back then. It's great. It's like science, random science stuff can happen in every episode. It's great. I found it more appealing than watching fucking Tom and Jerry over and over again, which, no offense, Tom and Jerry's great and all, and it's about some of the most beautiful animation that's ever been done in cartoons, but it's not as cool as fucking Dexter turning into a literal Spider-Man. I don't know.
Well, and back then, Cartoon Network was new, and you were getting a bunch of just Tom and Jerry and stuff, and now,
Right.
some of the first, like Space Ghost Coast to Coast, and Dexter's, and Powerpuff Girls
huge
were the
inspiration.
beginning. Space Ghost, man, yeah, that's part of why I love all this kind of shit, too. Moltar.
Oh, I like
Fucking love it.
Moltar. What do you want me
Yeah,
to
you
do?
sound like him right now. Yeah. Oh, man,
You gotta
we got to
turn
do
up
something with Space Ghost. I saw Space Ghost Avatar somewhere and haven't seen it in like a year and a half. So can somebody find that for us? That'd be great. Or if you come across it, just let us know.
I like
think
the
we would
episode
like to
with
have
Bjork.
Oh, I don't know if I remember it.
Let's see.
With
I'm
Bjork?
trying to remember an episode of Space
Remember
Ghost.
Conan
Like,
O'Brien? That was
oh yeah, Conan was good. I didn't watch too much Conan, but I'll always respect the man for his.
no, Conan was on
Great
Space
guy.
Ghost. But yeah, I mean the same.
Oh, really?
Conan's fucking.
He was at
but he was on Space
TwitchCon.
Ghost.
Conan was at TwitchCon. That was super weird.
Well, he's doing
showed
that
up.
whole gaming segment on his show.
Yeah, I think that's probably what
Angry.
it's about.
Or I forget what it is. Yeah, it's pretty funny too. He's done VR and all that. Dexter's Laboratory, great. And then Star Wars or Star Trek? I like to find
Star
out.
Wars. No,
Star
no
Wars,
offense to
brother.
Star Trek.
Fuck those guys. No, I'm just kidding. I like Star Trek.
was born in an age that I didn't exist in. Star Wars.
I guess so.
Was closer to my age of
Yeah.
existence. And Star Wars is also like, it came out in the 70s, but they like re-released that movie in theaters like constantly. And my good old mom brought me to see Star Wars in theaters as a child to see it. She's a good mom. She's a good mom. So
That's a great mom.
I do love Star Wars innately because I had the proper parenting for it.
She knows how important it is. Yeah.
I mean, she knows what the proper parts of parenting. You know, you got to get to the theaters when they show Star Wars. These are vital things you need to know when you have a
I think
child.
it's one of the best movies of all time. But that's a whole huge thing. Right on.
Not
I
to
love
fire
Star
back
Trek
with a
too,
ricochet
but
question, but what's your opinion on Rogue One?
I like Rogue One better than Star Wars 7, Episode 7.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm curious
That
what's going to happen with
movie
8.
is such a Star Wars movie, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. There's problems with both of those movies, and I'm not going to get into that. There's, it's like
Problems,
a little
quote
bit.
unquote. It's people that are connected to nostalgia a little too tightly. But if you let yourself
That's me.
slide through that,
I got it.
Yeah, it's
Well, I do that too. I do enjoy it. Yeah. Some people
You let it
can't.
slip a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. That Rogue One film is like so fun to watch.
It is.
KT, dude. What's up?
Oh, I love that character. That's great.
Yeah.
Hilarious. And then
C-3PO
before
ain't
we
got
get
shit
into the
now.
streaming and the VR, just give us one little thing about that we wouldn't know about you or anybody in your audience.
One little
Something-
thing that people wouldn't know about me.
Yeah.
I have
Anything out
almost
there?
no real life friends, but not like, this is not a cry for help or some emo statement. It's not like that. I don't really associate like that. I've spent years and years and years of my life being integrated in online video gaming communities, and a lot of my friends in my hometown are just kind of a bunch of bad kids, dude, and have gone into jail or got pregnant and had families that moved away and whatever, and they're not really there anymore. And so don't get me wrong when I say, like, I have no friends in real life. No,
No,
friends.
it sounds like you're the smart one. Like you chose to not go down those
One, the
routes.
stubborn one.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something I don't know. I don't really associate with people in out exterior life. So
Well, it was
you can
really
imagine
interesting
how
for
much
me
I
to
like
find VR.
VRChat.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was a really big deal to find just VR in general. And like social VR started with Minecraft in 2014 and with VR August specifically, or 13, sorry.
Right.
And because there was nothing out there was no worlds. And then Minecraft, there was a Mumble servers that allowed you to like tie in where you were in the world with your position with Mumble. So if you were too far away from somebody, Mumble muted you to those people on Mumble. So it really felt like you were
VoIP. So
near
basically
them.
Pseudo VoIP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so it was really interesting, and it really produced that.
I gotta say, the VoIP in this game is actually quite nice. It's got a good long fade to it.
Not bad. I look forward to real good 3D spatial audio, and audio is actually one of the biggest things that's gonna make VR pop for us in the future. We don't realize it because we're not used to like audio where it's so realistic, or it bounces off materials and you hear that. It's gonna be really great.
Same thing, like echoing effects, like being able to yell and hear your voice echo in VR is like a next step. You're right.
Yeah. If you're behind the audience stand, you'll hear a muffled, more muted. It's really great. There's some stuff on YouTube that you could listen to get the kind of idea of like, oh wow, this is going to change it. It's going to change it.
Right. There's
bigger
like
than I think.
Like the new Battlefield, they do a little bit of that too. Like the way that sounds reverberate in Battlefield are designed to like reverberate sounds from outside of a building into the building, and the audio. I mean, of course, it's an algorithm to play an already designated audio cue. But the audio cue that plays is like super accurate to where you are. Like so it sounds. You literally hear the footsteps. But it's not just like, oh, I hear the audio sound of footsteps. It's like, I hear the audio sound of footsteps. Someone in the dirt outside of this building bouncing off the stucco wall. And people don't realize that because it's DICE, and it's also like, you know, it's a shooter game. But DICE does that. They go into those really nitty-gritty levels of sound quality. But in VR, there's already so much going on. I can see how it's hard to like shove good audio programming and
processing more of that. Oculus is working on making it so their SDK and what they have out of the box, they're really focused on improving the audio, so that'll be interesting. And Vive and Steam, it all ends up being the same thing. They have the same technology at some point. They either follow each other, or they probably are both working on it basically. So, all right. Enough of that. Let's get into Twitch streaming. How and when did you get into streaming on Twitch?
All right, well, let's see. I got into Twitch streaming about 2 months before Ark Survival Evolved came out. So that would be an exact date, but I'm just going to drop a fat 3 years on it. It's on my birthday is when I am going to be celebrating it, like a 3-year anniversary for the stream.
Okay. So when's your birthday, by the way?
25th of February.
All right, everybody mark your calendars. We're going to have a big birthday party. That's right.
Oh, goodness.
We do that with people in VRChat. And VRChat has a birthday party, too, which is in January 18th. Definitely within a couple of days of that. Okay. So it'll be 4 years old?
VRChat's birthday.
VRChat's birthday. 4, right? Like 2014 will be 2018. Yeah, it's 4 fucking years. Crazy. Crazy.
Good shit.
You can go on YouTube and look up the first days in VRChat if you want to get an idea what
I actually
it was
probably
then.
will. I'm really, like we said,
really
I am really deep into the rabbit hole. I'm done. I took like 3 of those red pills, threw the blue ones away. Like, no.
Yeah.
I don't like the taste of the blue ones. I'm gonna keep these.
And why did you get into streaming?
I got into streaming because of a really kind of particular reason, weird reason, but part of it is that I have ADD, and I'm sure people have been really polite about it, but you may realize that I talk a lot. I do have a bit of a yammer about me, which is fine. I don't mind it. It's just how I am. I'm totally okay with that. But that I have ADD that causes that to be even more intensified. But the most important, most like sculpting thing that made me become a streamer is that I've always loved video games, but I've loved to show people video games. Have you ever had like your friends over and you know the Konami code or whatever as an example?
Sure.
Or like you know how to get to this like crazy level in Super Mario 64 and you haven't unlocked and you want to show your buddy. They don't give a shit. They want to have the controller to themselves and they want to try it for themselves. They want to play, right? They're not going to sit there and watch you do all this stuff while you're pointing it out to them. And then I discovered, I mean, that was when I was a kid, you know, but discovering streaming, it was almost the same thing. It was like, I don't just have one person that I'm trying to shove this video game in their face and like show them the cool stuff in. I have like 20 or 30 or 50 or whatever, 100 people that want to sit and watch and see what I want to show them with a video game. And that was the thing that was like, I could use video games as an entertainment facet for me and them by just having the freedom of showing them what I want to show them. So I know that's a really weird particular reason to start streaming, but it hit me hard. I was like, well, I could do that as a career, definitely.
Yeah, and the whole sharing games with people and wanting them to, that's a big deal. When I was growing up, there was no internet and stuff, so sharing this stuff between each other was a big deal. Or watching the movie Wizard and realizing in Super Mario 3 how to get to the
I have to get a Nintendo Power. Make sure
I couldn't afford it, so it's like shit out of luck.
You didn't have the power, man. Neither did I, though. Don't worry. It was actually before my time, but I know my shit. I tell you, I was a good kid, man. I ain't one of these fucking millennials.
No offense, right? Or whatever.
No offense.
I wonder if millennials think like, oh, those people, those of my generation, yeah, those are the millennials, not like me, because I'm a cool kid or something, right? I don't know.
Honestly, I'm probably
Gen Xers had the same thing. That's what I was.
I was like, I don't know.
You definitely are.
It's fine. I just like to joke about it. I was reading, not to like sidetrack, but I was reading a big study about, not study, it was just it was a long series of YouTube videos. That's what studying is, right? YouTube videos.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. And they were talking about the millennial generation of people and how it's unfortunate because there's none of the stuff that causes millennials to have like talk about the way that things are is their fault. Nobody has control over it. It was like just a natural thing. It's a natural human thing, right? This is like happened before in the past before too. Not
happened
in the
my
exact
generation.
Same way, but there are generations that have this same problem. Like sometimes it just doesn't match up perfectly, and you have a kind of a segregation of like old and young. But that's how it's always been.
That's how it's always been. Yep.
So yeah, if you're a millennial, that was basically me sticking up for you.
I love millennials anyway. I love younger people. I'm more of a young person at heart, so.
Careful, there's lots of young
very
women
well.
Here.
Yeah, yes, I love all the women in VRChat. There's like at least half of them are women, and they're dressed in these cute little outfits. It's amazing. The voices have been a little like off-putting.
Nothing further to that descriptive statement to go
That's
into
how
any
I
more.
see it.
No more details need to be added on whatsoever about all the females here today.
I need to have an anime panel if you guys are interested in that and really want to dive into why, like, do you want to be referred to as female or not? I'm
going to tell you, actually, I don't mean to be like, oh, I know what's right and wrong, because I don't, but this is my, like, vivid opinion about it. Is like, if they're in a girl model, just call them a girl, honestly. The thing that would make it weird is if we were all here, if this was a dating game, if this was like a live dating game where people go to date only, right? I mean, dating happens in VRChat. Nobody would disagree, right? I mean, there's people who meet each other in VRChat, but it wasn't.
Over this last year, it has happened like
for people to meet each other. It wasn't designed to be a dating service. You know what I mean? And I feel like people like go, "Oh, that girl is a guy," and it's like, that's a fallen construct of your personal relationship wants and needs. It's not a construct of this game, this fucking game we're playing. We're playing a video game, right? In real life, if we were all standing around in this crazy environment and it was a bunch of guys dressed as girls, I mean, I don't know, it'd be different. But the fact that we're playing a video game, it just, I don't know, I feel like people are so locked on the fact of it. They're so engaged with that personal moral, that personal relationship moral. It's like, who gives a fuck? Go dancing, dude. Like, go dancing. Sorry if I curse a lot. I always curse when I get into vivid conversation.
No, it's fucking okay. Yeah. That's why I do the disclaimer in the beginning. 18 and older, not affiliated with VRChat, now we can do whatever the fuck we want. Yep. It's really interesting.
I do feel really strongly about that, though. It's like, people should just worry about it being a video game and not worry about the sexuality of each individual person you're encountering. That, in the end, it's like, why worry about it? If that's for you, there's places for it. You can do that, honestly. I mean, and it happens. People get into relationships and stuff. I just think that there's too many people that are just freshly coming into the game that want to get right out there and start dating them up. swinging those girls right off their feet. Isn't that right, ladies? They're just coming on in and just swooing you. Anyway, I'm just passionate about that.
What kind of games? What have you streamed in the past? I mean, obviously Final Fantasy 14, but what else have you streamed? What else has been awesome? Arc, maybe?
Arc, indeed. I am most known for Arc. In fact, that's what originally, like, showed me, not showed me VR, but how I opened up to it so vividly is that I'm deeply embedded in RP communities, or was, at least I should say. For Arc, Survival Evolved, like all kinds of stuff. I've roleplayed like 10s and 20s of characters with serious, like, long-lasting story changes and lives and deaths and lineages and stuff. And in Arc, it's a good game, but I played that game so much that I kind of hate it now. I kind of hate it, and the only reason that I'm going to play it is when they come out with Aberration, their new expansion, which is a huge expansion. It's the biggest expansion they've ever had. And even then, I feel like I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to be like, wow, this is cool. I tamed myself a naked mole rat. Whatevs. And I'm going to be back in VRChat, like, as quickly as I can be. It's the new WoW, man. It's the new WoW. I'm not saying it's an MMO, but I'm saying the zeitgeist of WoW. It's the new zeitgeist.
Yeah. And when you hear, you're like, wow.
Wow.
To be wow. All right. What's one of the craziest things that's maybe happened on one of your streams? There must be something wild. Maybe you did, or maybe somebody else.
I'm a really honest person, so I'm not afraid to say embarrassing stuff. I was in a really tough period of time because I stopped streaming Arc. That's funny. It kind of comes up again. I stopped streaming Arc, and I lost everybody. I had almost 200 people consistent. It was like I would fire up my stream, and 100 people would be there before I started going. I don't have that anymore, as you may have noticed. And I went through a period of time where I was streaming for weeks with with less than 5 people, and those people were my mod. Sure. And like, I got a big host from somebody, and people were talking about my channel, how I had so few views and so many followers, and I had like this big like breakdown where I explained to them really in depth, like depth that we're not getting into here, obviously, but like what the problems were with the industry and how it's like some people get their foot in the door and like they don't even have to try. They just get the foot in the door and it just works for some reason for them. Just boom, boom, boom. Followers, viewers. And some people don't. Some people, they could put their whole heart and soul into it, which I've done for years, you know. Everything they have, literally, into it, and it still won't matter. It's it doesn't matter how badly you want it. You can't always achieve it. Now that's my dark time. You said that was like, those are like times, embarrassing times, or things that on stream. We've moved past that sense, and I'm like fully confident with the stream how it is, and happy to have it how it is. But yeah, definitely something crazy that happens. I mean, Twitch streaming is a stressful thing after you do it for a long enough time. If you don't get enough success right away, I think any YouTuber would probably understand. Like if you put your heart and soul into a YouTube videos and you're getting like 100 or 200 views on these like really what you feel like is great product, you know, like a great content to watch. Like I can imagine the same feeling goes through that, and I was just like, what the fuck do I do? Like, what am I doing wrong? Anyways, that was it. That was that. But those were back then. It does apply to some people though, still.
Sure, it's competitive. It's really competitive. You know, people only got so much attention, and there's a lot of stuff to look at now. I mean, the internet is just competing.
And it's hard. Like viewers are like salmon in rivers. They'll come and go in huge swaths. Sometimes they'll be gone and empty, and sometimes they'll be there. But they always come back. In some respect, even if it's just 1 or 2 at a time, they'll always come back to the same river. I like to make that salmon reference to it. It's good. And it's funny because it makes sense because it's down a stream. Ooh, the pun.
See what he did? See
pun
what
wraps
he did?
around to a fish pun. Anyway.
Did you do anything special when you hit the milestone for numbers like 1,000, 5,000, or you're up to 10,000 subscribers? 7,000.
I did a 48-hour stream when I hit 7,000 views or followers. It was awesome. It was funny because Twitch automatically shut your stream off at 48 hours. It's like, nope, you're done. No more. It automatically cuts your stream. Super rude.
Can you just switch it back on, or does it still like?
You
well,
can.
wait a
You
minute.
totally switch it right back on. It just automatically cuts you. It's like you're done. No more.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good amount.
Yeah, yeah. You've done your. You know what? You played the video games, buddy. We're gonna just turn this one off for you.
Take a break, you know, like Nintendo saying, you know, warning, you should get up and go outside.
And it's like, you should rest your eyes.
Screw you.
The system isn't designed for your brain.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
That's another thing, though. It does bring, not to like side subject really quick. It's just that with the 3DS, you bring it up. Do you ever wonder what the I guess repercussions are of people that can't do VR fully, like people that have lost sight in one eye, or are like severely riddled with like headaches or migraines when they do it? Do you ever think about that side of things? Because with the 3DS, when it came out, it was still really super popular because you could turn the 3D off. If it hadn't had that feature, though, they would have sold a quarter of their product because people looked at it and went, ugh, ugh, and immediately turned it off. I loved it, though. Like, I could play that for hours and hours and hours of 3D gameplay. I never had any strain on my eyes, but I have so many friends in my life that pick the thing up and would, like gasp at it when they saw the 3D and, like, have to turn it off. Like, they couldn't handle it. And I wonder if there's ever, if that's the same with VR or not. Anyway.
Those people are screwed now. Like, the future's VR. Everybody's going to be in VR. It'll get better, really, though. The way that, you know, motion, like, we used to only be able to go do this. We couldn't actually do anything like this.
Yeah, like
and so that became a big difference. And just the more we get in here that feels like ourselves, it gets better. And the fast 90 frames per second are a big deal.
Right.
So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of problems now. People that only can see through one eye. I have a very good friend of mine, one of my best friends in VRChat, Owlboy, who's the proprietor of the Pug, the Great Pug. He, really? And you'll see his avatar. He only has one eye on his Owlboy avatar, on his Owl avatar. And he only sees through one, but he don't know any difference. It's a virtual reality for him. You know, he doesn't see in any life depth. So it's just like
no depth.
His life anyways. Yeah. You know, so it works pretty well.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, then that's good. That's real good. It was like with the 3DS, it was like, nope, no 3D for you. You can't play it.
Yeah, you don't want to put your money towards it, but this gives you more than just a 3D, and this is like this is real 3D. People have not experienced. Like, you can watch 3D movies inside of VR, and it's really good 3D.
It's like vivid 3D. Okay. Yeah, I've had headset on like only a few times, and only for tech demos at like TwitchCon. It was like last year at TwitchCon and this year at TwitchCon. And like, it's mind blowing. That 3D, it's so vivid.
Yeah, like that's the big thing.
You see like 3D in movies and all these things, but you don't realize you're like how 3D everything you see with your two eyes is until it's being virtually recreated for you. Then you're like, whoa, everything is three-dimensional. Holy shit! Like, your brain isn't trained to. Yeah, it's crazy. I can't wait. Oh, by the way, not like this is like personal news, but tomorrow I have to start cleaning out my room for VR space because I'm going to be ordering that shit before the end of the month, dude.
I was going to ask, one of my questions on the list is when you get your VR, man. It's got to be soon.
It's going to be sooner than I thought. It's going to be sooner than I thought. Weirdly enough, like, I'm not super like integrated with my family or whatever, but my family likes to check in on me now and then. And they'd seen that I was doing this VR stuff, and they live in an internet age, so they Googled it to shit, of course. And after I talked to them about it, they see there's a future to VR. They know, like, it's awesome. Evident. If you see enough, you know it. You're like, this is happening and it's going places. And so they wanted to help me push forward to get that VR set up, which is good. But the trick is on me because I'm a streamer. So I'm going to be, like, you get to see my goofy ass doing stuff with the VR headset, as I'm going to have the cam up so you guys can see me. You ever had that moment where you're like, I'm so glad nobody can see me right now in VR?
Oh, yeah, or smell my fart? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's going to be like, oh, no, everybody can see me right now when I do something. But that's okay. Entertainment is entertainment.
It's very entertaining to watch VR people on streams. So it's pretty interesting that you said TwitchCon, because that was my next question. TwitchCon, what was TwitchCon like, man? That was last month? Is that right?
It was last month, yeah. It was incredible. I went with Cletus Buford. We drove there, all the way there, and we drove all the way back in a rented car.
Hell yeah.
Not a recommended terms of travel, but it was fun.
No.
We had a lot of fun on the way.
How many hours was it?
18 there and back.
Oh, whoa, never mind.
Yeah, so about like 36 hours, isn't that? Is that 36 hours? Yeah.
You guys probably got real close.
Oh, that's another thing that not a lot of people know about me. I am horrible with math. I'm like comically, laughably bad at math. Yeah, I can't believe I got 36 right there. That's what reminded me. I was like, whoa, I did a math problem. Whoa.
That's hilarious.
Too
My
smart
wife is
for my own good.
So TwitchCon was great. And what is? I mean, obviously.
The year before was better in my opinion. TwitchCon's always gonna be great, but they were so much better accommodated last year. It was like way better. Like
it keeps
California,
getting too big,
Long
right?
Beach,
Is that the case?
It was horrible. It was horrible, dude.
Oh, the venue. Okay.
Well, they drive like shit in California. No offense to anybody who's from California, but what do you guys like? Is it like part of when you go to get your driver's license? Is there like a 5-page booklet on how to cut people off? Do you have to
Anybody
like
here from Los Angeles
questions?
or?
if there's anyone, there may not
I've
be,
been on
like I
the
said, very global
interstates
game.
out there.
People from California, I think even people who live there are like, that's how it is. You just fucking gotta get through there, man. You know what I mean? I forgot to get in my lane. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, I saw. Yeah, sorry to be all like, ooh, I'm gonna tell a bunch of stories. I'm not going to. But
That's
this one's good. On the LA freeway, entering LA, there's a car that is blocking this guy's path apparently in one of the lanes. And he's trying to like get past him with like a heavy ass cutoff. And it's a truck with a cart on the back of it, like a hitched cart on the back of it. So the guy keeps blocking him, and they literally like Mad Maxed it out on the fucking road, like bumping their cars. Like he was trying to get past and the guy would block him, using his car as a barrier for the guy. Like they're messing their cars up, like fucking like smashing into each other on the freeway. And like me and Cletus look at this. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
I've never seen like that. I've never heard of anything like that.
We were like, dude, those cars are battling right now. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was
doing this?
Shocking.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted, which is weird. See, there's somebody drawing everywhere. I'm not even noticing it doing it. Stop drawing on everything.
You have a heart.
Do I have a penis on my? I'm surprised
No, you're good.
you're not drawing penises on the top of my head.
On me?
No, state of difference from you.
So, yeah, I'm so stupid when it comes to that. I'm so gullible. That's kind of guy I am. Just that I'll not realize I shouldn't have said that. Now they're gonna attack me or trolls. I'm so gullible to trolls can just get under the skin so easy.
It's invisible.
Oh no, this is Bob. Cause Effect's my cohort. He's doing the cam right now, and we've traveled.
The life form.
That's hilarious.
Right.
All right. It's you, Neko. All right, man. Come here. I want to see your face.
Where's your hall pass?
You have 3 seconds. You have 2 seconds. You have 1 second.
You have 0 seconds.
Are you responsible for this? I know you're responsible for this.
No, Neko isn't the one doing it.
Gunter, are you becoming? It was like a little one.
Okay.
The model with the fire folks here.
Dictator, that's it.
It's Stoopy Key Okami is the one doing it.
Yeah, that's
Speak
her.
up or you're kicked.
They disappear,
Okay.
but I don't see
Did somebody vote kicked? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And they disappear in this phase? Jeez. Anyways, let's move on. This doesn't really matter.
No, she
don't
can't
worry.
stop drawing it. Her button's broken on her controller. She can't.
Oh.
Her button's so she can't do anything about it.
Well, yeah, but running around this thing a
She
few
was
times.
trying to get attention for like.
Yeah.
I mean, she obviously knows what she's doing because she's drawing hearts and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it until you said something about it.
I didn't either, and then it's all
an
everywhere.
unobservant
Shit's
thing of
fucking
me.
everywhere.
There was like
Anyways.
1,000 particles going off too. You didn't notice that?
I didn't notice.
I
I'm
didn't
just.
see anything.
I'm
She
in
was-
here, man.
She was
I'm in this.
stabbing in front of you for like 30 minutes, for like 3 minutes.
What are you guys doing? Help me out.
Yeah,
Vote
we were
kick these
talking,
these
man.
fuckers.
We were talking,
I was
dude.
being nice.
We
I
were
was
in
being
it.
nice. What can I say?
Stop being nice to these kinds of people. It's a service. I say let's make sure our community is good and do your service by
Sit down
vote
and be
kicking and.
quiet, maggots.
Yes.
Get your tushes in the seats.
Specs in the universe.
I'm being sarcastic.
Flappy Bird. Angry Bird, sit down.
Angry Bird, Flappy Bird.
Oh no, you don't have a butt. Never mind. Just kidding. Okay. Yes. All right, you've answered that one. You've answered that one. You've answered that one.
He doesn't have a butt, Gunter? Did you just assume that Angry Bird doesn't have a butt?
Oh man, I assume people's genders. I assume people having asses. Oh fuck! I'm such a. I'm not with it with the times, y'all. I'm learning. You are learning. But it's okay. Okay, so if we're getting into starting up our own Twitch channel, what are some advice? How do people get started? What have you learned over these last 3 years?
Getting started on a Twitch channel like from scratch, if you are super passionate about it being your career, to go for it, it's two sides of it. You either need to not give two shits at all and you just want to flippity floppity stream your stream and you don't care how many people watch. That's great. It honestly is probably better, because if you want success on Twitch, you have to basically give up everything else in your life.
Right.
That sounds fucked up, but it's true. I bet there's some YouTubers that would understand what I'm saying right now. It's like, in order to continue and guarantee it's like a job. The money you make is based off the content you're producing. If that was the job, right? Like you can't live your life or can't make a living if you're not constantly producing the content. And then on top of that, people might not even want to watch the content. So it's a very stressful thing. I don't mean to be. I'm a realist. I don't like to pussyfoot around anything. So I'll be honest with you. Maybe check out, I don't know, YouTube is almost a better environment for getting noticed and picked up. It's kind of crazy.
I don't do enough Facebook either, but apparently that's
under your belt.
a great way. Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Facebook groups and putting it all out there. I know GM3 does, and he actually gets a good amount of followers and shit. So Facebook, I try to stay away from it, but it actually, needs to be more of my life.
Well, I get more viewers playing this game now than I did playing Ark. Ever since like the big boom of everybody just not watching my channel anymore.
VRChat. They want the weird, man. Yeah.
They want the weird. They do. And I'm good at exploring the weird in a healthy way. I'm super unbiased. I don't have any problems with people. I don't have any problems with the individual sex of certain sects. That's with a C and a T. That's with a C and a T. Okay? Sect. Anyway, the sex of people and their segregation, I don't mind that. I am a understanding person. So as an entertainer, like I'm understanding it, I don't have a problem with the weird, so to speak. So as an entertainer, it allows me to basically, like, I guess if you use an astronaut reference, like I can go out on the tether for people and they don't have to worry about the same things they would with other people. Like a streamer goes in and it's just like, man, this is just too weird for me. I'm gonna go and check out this place, guys, and then we're gonna play another game. Like, on the other hand, I'm like, well, let's go and see what party's happening right now. I want to see what people are doing right now. Let's go and hang out. I'm engaged in the social aspect of the stream, and I think that's what they like. They like it's weird enough to say it, but the reality of it. It may be virtual reality, but it's kind of real and just enjoy a conversation that people are having.
You can't judge a book by its cover, or you can't judge a VRChat by its hub. It's more than a hub.
More than
there's a lot of
the new hub
there's
is
a lot of stuff
cool,
going on.
By the way. I'm gonna speak for the community right now, and it's only because I've heard it from several people. I didn't actually think about it until they brought it up, but a day and night cycle in that new hub would be incredible, because people, and it's okay, I'm not saying y'all did anything wrong or whatever, because you have to build on a game. It's a game in progress. Things are gonna change over time.
Oh yeah.
But I think that one thing that people like is like the kind of nightimey, like homey. It's like homey feel of it, like you're safe sort of in this stone complex in the night. There's fires around, there's a fire in the middle that people can sit at. I mean, it's still there. It's not like the old pub's gone anywhere. You can still go to it.
Sure. That's great feedback.
I just think that they're right with that, because you get the daytime. It looks really pretty too, the new hub, but that nighttime would look cool too. You could even have a little bit of neon stuff going on.
I'd love day-night cycle for sure. There would be some argument of does it show day and night for your local zone, or that doesn't make sense? It needs to be synced. So where, when, and does the time change? Specific time because that's where the company's headquarters is, or
maybe for each instance it starts a day, like, and then it just kind of plays out.
That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I like that.
Other than that, I'm not dissatisfied though. I'm super pleased with everything I've been a part of so far. So I'm not really complaining. One thing I gotta say is the people in the community. Like, the community here it's
a big deal.
It's something else. Like, to have people just be so accepting of stuff and just being like into helping out with it and not being like, well, go, you know. I mean, they'll tell you, they'll point you to YouTube videos in the right way. So sorry, stumbled on my own words there. Like, it's better than somebody just being like, just go find the YouTube for it, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
It's the opposite. People are like, whoa, what are you looking at? Like, what are your problems that you're having? You can go and pop into an avatar testing room, and if you ask a question, everybody turns towards you and helps you out. Like, everybody does. And all these are furries and lollies, right? These quote unquote not normally accepted sex of kinds of people. Like, they're so helpful still. They're still amazing human beings, right?
Of course. We're all humans inside here. There's a human in all of us.
So I don't know, selfless. Everybody feels selfless.
They really pay it forward here. We all it's what we want things to grow. This is what we want. Yeah. I haven't had this kind of experience in previous games, so I think that might be something that we share. Is just this overwhelming, great sense of community, this love almost.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck?
It's surreal, almost.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I assume you use OBS? I don't know. Why would I assume that? I don't know. That's what I use.
I use the new one. There's a new one. It's called Streamlabs OBS. Which is really weird because it's slobs.
Oh yeah, that's like got
slobs, and the devs actually use the acronym, which is really weird, but whatever.
Slobs.
Slobs.
Kind of looks like a Slack, the other chat system.
Hey, what do you do to stream?
Kind of funny.
I do that slobs, dog. Got the slobs. That's how I do it.
So Streamlabs, that gives you have options for overlays there, because that was going to be my next question, right? Is that like part of it? Streamlabs overlays. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I've been thinking about that myself.
It's kind of like layers. Like, you don't know if you've seen like Photoshop or like any of like
I'm a Photoshop guy.
Any like.
Sure.
Oh well, they have layers that you can stack on top of each other basically, and you can pretty much put in any type of media. Like, if you have a video that you want to play on loop, which is like for me, I have the Be Right Back and like Shamrockseven stream starting and stuff. That's just a video that plays on loop. And you can put that media in and put it on the right layer and put whatever you want in front of it. You can put text on, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of customization.
Nice. What's the Hunger Squad?
The Hunger Squad?
It's on your Twitter, brother. You're as like a hot dog or something with your two buddies, Cletus.
That was me, Cletus, and Fake Uniform at TwitchCon, but at lunchtime, at Target, looking for an American flag for the back of Cletus's scooter. And we found those Halloween costumes. It was Halloween. It wasn't Halloween yet.
Oh.
It was like before Halloween. And they were just perfect. The Fake Uniform, the guy on the far right of me, or the far right of the image, he's a bigger streamer than me or Cletus. He's like a way bigger streamer. Which I didn't know. I was just treating him. I treat everybody at face value, to like how
they're
they
just
treat
people.
Me. So I didn't
they
even
gotta
know
wipe their ass too.
Until later.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was the tall one, so we gave him the hot dog. Cletus is like a bigger guy, so we gave him the hot dog or the hamburger, and I like the color green, and there was a taco, so we had the taco.
I'm so hungry now. This is ridiculous. This was a bad question. My belly's just rumbling.
Oh no.
You wear sunglasses on your stream, dude.
I do, because I have a lot of lights in my room, but I also I like darkness. Not to sound like some fucking emo kid or anything, but I do. I like it when it's dark. I sleep a nocturnal schedule on purpose.
Me too.
On purpose. I sleep, yeah. And when I stay up too late and the sun comes up, I wait for the sun to go back down, pretty much, and then I just keep going until it's time to go to sleep and the sun comes back up again. It's a weird process, but hey.
Not amongst all of us here. I think we get that. That's more normal. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, especially with VRChat. I was screwed over by college. My college that I went to, there was a 4-month period of time in my college where I had 8 hours of class, 4 hours off. 8 hours of class, 4 hours off. So count that. 8, 4, 8, 4. If you add that all up, that's 24 hours, which means I only had 4 hours of sleep ever potentially possible, ever, for 4 months straight.
I don't know how you do that. Yeah.
I don't know how I fucking did it. I got mono at near the end of that sequence. It was horrifying, but I did it. I did it.
You survived. You're here with us today.
I did.
VR questions. When did you catch wind of VR?
I caught wind of VR from like new VR. I mean, I did VR.
I'd like to hear kind of both. Yeah.
I did VR when I was a kid. I went to Las Vegas and they had Pac-Man VR, and I did that.
VR.
I don't. Yeah, it was.
Never heard of that one. Whoa.
It was like a demo. It was honest. It was at I don't know what it's called. It's like this games place. Has anybody been to Las Vegas? There's this.
I used to live there when I was a young boy, but I wouldn't have seen
place
that.
In the middle of the strip. It's called like Game Center or Game something.
I think that
was
after
arcade.
For me.
Oh, that's fine. Anyway, it was like a game center basically where they had a bunch of like really cutting edge video game stuff that you could get access to. It was really cool.
It was a headset.
That's how video games used to be. There was less internet. The internet existed, but there was less internet. So that's where you found all the crazy, wild new games and stuff. And yeah, it was totally a headset, but the headset was huge, and there was no like left or right movement or at all. And I think it was like, I can't even remember. I remember I did it another time also at Disney Quest in Disney World.
Aladdin.
It was like just Aladdin, right? Yes. And like that, I remember
just
being
shut down
really
this
cool,
year.
Actually,
I hated it. Whatever.
I hated it too. It was a little shitty. It was a little cheesy. Did they shut down Disney Quest? Really? I'm about to go and fucking burn someone's house down.
Yes.
Right now.
That is going away unless it's.
Dude, Disney Quest was legit.
Yeah.
You can make your own action figure. You make your own action figure, man.
Oh, that's true.
So cool.
And then the whole floor of 80s arcade games. That's always my favorite. I love old arcade games.
So yeah, those were my first experiences, but my recent experience, I saw Marlin. Marlin.
Have you seen my son?
Yeah, have you seen my son? That I'll admit, that's where I saw it on YouTube, and then I saw Nags's videos, and that was like, well, nope, we're done. Marlin I saw and was like, that's really cool. I want to know what that is, but sort of brushed it off. And then I saw Nags's videos, and I was like, no way. There's so much interaction going on here. Like social interaction is like on fire here, and that's it. And I'm stuck here, like I said. I got many years to come now, brother.
Right on, right on. Yeah, Mr. Chris Patstone that you're talking about, he was in that chair maybe a month ago. It was very nice to have him. And then Marlon shows up, Iago shows up.
Nice.
I'm forgetting the third character and I got to interview all of them, and we kind of made out a little bit. It's very strange. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Hey, it's VRChat. It's VRChat. What do you do?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Make out with animals, why not? That's my thing. That somebody's going to put that on the internet. In just that little clip, that's
but I think
cool.
that they'll get it. They'll understand the context. So we got so far in this interview, we know that you like young women and kissing animals. Sweet.
Yes. Right.
You're fine.
It's like an Adult Swim cartoon that you can be a part of. That was, I think I'm getting the quote wrong, but that's something you said.
I did. That's funny. I didn't know you were quoting me, but I totally feel that way. It's like a Adult Swim live special, or not live, but the Adult Swim late night special, like Tim and Eric Awesome Show, right? It's kind of that show's a little crazy, but you could relate the weirdness of it in a weird way.
Yeah.
But in a good way. I'm not saying in a negative way. It's just like, or whatever.
Sure.
What else? Or like Robot Chicken, for example. That was kind of one of their late night shows before it became more mainstream for them, and like that was just like you could watch it. It was just so much random, cool, and funny, and just like crazy shit happening for 30 minutes on screen. That's why I loved Robot Chicken. It was a really great show.
Oh yeah.
The only problem about Robot Chicken is it is the most unrewatchable show ever. Like, you watch a new episode of Robot Chicken, you don't ever want to watch it again, in my opinion. It's like, I'm good. It's not funny. Saw that joke last time. But yeah, it reminds me of an Adult Swim special, in a way. We were talking Space Ghost, even. You know, it just has that.
It's edgier too, which this place is certainly on the edge. Edgy. Blue hair.
Can I ask a quick question?
Evan Johnson, yes, please.
Yeah. How much longer does this go? Because I have school tomorrow.
Well, we'll just end it right now so that you can, so you can take off.
You can go to school,
Well,
It goes as long as it goes. I don't put time limits on it. I like.
You guys ever, like,
Sure.
on these interviews, do you guys ever like take questions from the audience, like near the end?
Absolutely, we just did. But yes, sometimes at the end. But if you want to just chime in during it, it's fine.
Take questions from the audience, but this is just a one-time deal. Only one-time deal.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I actually just changed it. No more questions, everybody. Evan Johnson.
All right, well, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm out.
Later, buddy. Get some sleep.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah.
You can only ask questions on the Twitch stream.
Oh, I'm
Right.
not streaming, though.
And
I'm
we,
not streaming.
on mine. Bob's
Oh.
streaming.
Okay, I need to follow you guys, by the way.
And we won't read them. Actually, and you'll want this in your show too. You want your Twitch stream in. You want to be able to see the chat inside, right? So having it above the table is going to be, something going on with the whole web panels, that stuff. It's going to be a little tricky, but working on it. And anything that I get working here will be shared with anybody that would like to learn about that. Of course, paying it forward. We always do that. So, do some of your followers from Twitch, not the ones that are following now, that are from VRChat, but any of those people that knew you decide to come into VRChat, they following you in here?
Cletus. Oh, followers? Yes. But not as much.
Fans.
I feel like I get a bunch of people that like spark interest in my chat, but they don't dive in. They don't take the red pill, basically.
And you talk, you're in desktop, they know it's in desktop. It's not that barrier, it's not the VR barrier.
In VRChat, man.
It's free. Steam. You can turn it off.
You're gonna love it, man. And a lot of people love it.
Contact me or Shamrock, and we'll take you around. Come find us. We'll take you around. Make sure your time is really good. It is hit or miss. You can have a bad time, but just go. There's more stuff. Yeah, we'll show you good time with animals and little. Never mind. Hello.
That hole is getting deep, Gunter.
I always do this.
It's alright, you're fine.
Gaming man, what you got?
Thrill Band said hi.
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 All right. Right on. Hello, everyone
How you
that
doing?
is
What's his
tuning
name?
into this that's not
Thrill
here.
Band.
Throw band.
Troll band?
Where you at?
Thrill Band.
Oh, throw band.
band.
Yeah, troll band. We'd have a different attitude on this. Okay, throw band. If you're watching this, excellent. Thank you. Spread the word. Spread the love. Someone's helped you with your avatar. Who's helping you out?
Zazu. I don't know if you've met her.
Zazu, I did.
Good friend. Helped me out with the model.
Props to
That's
him.
it so far. Now I have the great dog, Cat, is helping out with this new one right now. I don't know if he's working on it right now. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it. I'm a super patient guy. Like, I'm not worried about it. The fact that people want to help out with it in the first place, I'm like, hell yeah, I'll see you in 3 weeks when it's done. And they're like, it took me 12 minutes. Here you go. But yeah, that's been so far who I've got.
But you're super humble. And I'm super humble. I know exactly what you're talking about,
Yeah, so I couldn't explain it more. Like, I always feel bad when people like scream about me being live or streaming or like about my Twitch, because it's like, I'm not about that. I've met many Twitch streamers in my years of Twitch streaming that use that as for evil. That use that like, oh, well, I'm here and I have a streamer voice and I want all the viewers and I'm gonna go find who else is live with viewers. And I'm gonna talk in front of them prolifically.
That's what they do?
Until I get their
man.
viewers.
Oh.
There's a lot of people like that on Twitch. It's really bad. Like, people that are talented and use it for negativity, like to steal from other people's, like, thing. It's crazy.
You need a little Rochambeau, sounds like. and come here with motion trackers, we could totally do it.
Yeah, that's just true.
Kick to the nuts.
Well, they'll come here with motion trackers, and I'm scaring them off. This is my territory now. I'm the Twitch streamer. I'm just kidding. There's other people doing way more than live stream. Live streaming.
But those other people, the people here are all great.
Yeah.
It's those ones that you're talking about. What are some of the interesting things you've seen in VRChat already? What have you captured on your stream?
This is
Solid Snake.
Snake. Well, there's Brochacho and Vactor, I think is his name. Specifically those two, and Modex. Those three guys.
Modex, yeah.
I laughed so hard today. I'm not a big laugher, you know? I'll chuckle at something, or I'll think something's funny. But I'm never like a full-on, like bursting laughter kind of guy. I had to step away from my computer to just like recollect myself after how hard I laughed at those dudes today. They were all three together, and Brochacho has Metal Gear's head, Solid Snake's head on Raiden's body from Metal Gear Solid Vengeance. And he's got a cigar in one of his hand emotes, and he's got a fucking minigun in the other hand emote. And he's firing the minigun off, and he lights the cigar off of his minigun and puffs on it, and the smoke comes out of his mouth. And next to him is a monster snake monster, like a snake monster, like an actual snake, that is like a sort of like Naga style enemy. I don't know where it came from. And so it's got a human body attached to it, and on the human body is Solid Snake's head, and he too smoking a cigarette while he goes, "Aww." Fuck, man. Those dudes are geniuses.
That's great.
And then you know Modex. Oh yeah, Modex. Egoraptor version of Metal Gear, but I do it really good. Yeah.
I remember at first I was a little worried about this snake guy. You know, in the past we're getting more of these like flash mobs and stuff, and that's cool. But a little while ago, the flash mobs were troll flash mobs, and I was getting a little like, oh no.
I went on a spider raid today,
but it's all great. You want a spider raid? Excellent.
Spider raid.
Excellent.
We were at
he told me a little bit. Somebody was freaked out,
20.
right?
Well, yeah, no, I didn't think it would be as effective. So, like, I'll explain. It's a short story, but we had 15, 20 spiders, and we went into the presentation room because I was like, we need like a building room, like a room that could be infested by spiders. I didn't ask for this, but somebody played the song. It's a classical song. It goes, I don't know what it's like like a bumblebees or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like Flight of the Bumblebees. So like they were playing that the whole time, and we like it was so cool because somebody ran into this girl who was in full VR, and she saw the spider and freaked out, and it was like we aggroed her like fucking mobs in an MMO. Like all of them came from across the room and then realized that we scared somebody, and she started freaking in a good way, not like a bad way. We weren't like she realized the joke after a while. Good. Like, we startled the shit out of her with a giant pack of spiders. It was fucking incredible. That was today.
Yeah, that's just for real too in VR, man. Fierce. I mean,
I would say in D&D, that would be a dick move.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Spider attacks? No one likes spiders in D&D. Damn things. Slowing me down.
Especially people that have phobias, man. VR is a great way to treat phobia, PSTD, or, just exposure.
The girl was poking at the spiders when she realized we weren't trolls. Like, when she realized we weren't just trying to troll, she was, like, poking at the spiders up close in her VR. And that's somebody who was afraid of spiders. Like, you're right. It's an effective way to deal with phobias. Yep. Crazy enough.
You can always just, nope, I'm out of here.
Fuck this. That's the fuck this right there.
Power. VR podcast, you're starting. I love these things. I love shows in virtual reality, man. I've been doing mine for a while. I've seen others. It's just a bit of a history to it. When I heard you were interested in that, I just was like, let's go tell Shamrock what I know, and that if you need help. And it was great that I know that you, what was it? I think the Great Dog or that person was talking about GM3's VR studio, and I was on your stream, and I'm like, oh, I gotta come in and be like, this is the beginning. This is what's possible. You gotta see it. And then, a little prototype show popped up. You were in the seat. You had some guests there. You interviewed them. It was very entertaining. What did you think of that? Why do you want to start?
I think that the prototype episode wasn't as good as the second prototype episode that happened way earlier today, like 12 hours ago today. And
what happened then?
That was with less people. I tried it in a private room. It was impromptu. It wasn't supposed to be like for real. But Magnanix was there, and we had Magnanix, Snickers. We had a guy that was named Pumpkinos. He's and we had my buddy Cletus. And it was private, so the audience were all very polite, much like our audience now. Thank you guys, by the way. I'm sorry. I know this is. I know that we are. Yeah, but it was great. It was really great. It felt like very vividly like what I wanted out of the experience. I'm not saying the original was bad. I just think that was like the concept, evolve. And then that was the prototype episode today that we did, and it was great. We had some really interesting topics that we discussed. Like one of the most interesting topics that we discussed was the way that people who have major disabilities can live vivid lives in VR. Like they're or they could do something that they used to do all the time but no longer can do, and do it again, but not just do it again, but do it again in the most incredible way with the most optimal settings, just really vivid when you think about
distance is no longer an issue. People can travel anywhere now, to all kinds of environments, to people, teleporting, all kinds of barriers start to drop. And for people with disabilities, it's incredible. I remember another social platform, Altspace, was shutting down, and there's been a resurgence of it. But when it was shutting down, it was actually a bit sad. I was over there. I like to go to different social platforms, and I have friends all around. And it was sad because there's people with disabilities there that only could get the gear, so they weren't able to go to any of the other social places that some of their friends were migrating to, and it was really heartbreaking. They had these disabilities. They just finally had found friends, and it was starting to change. And so hearing stories like that, hearing people that are we had an older gentleman, 63, that couldn't get around, and he was just all over the place, jumping, having adventures in here. Very, very cool. Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little nervous, I guess, about the podcast, but not in a bad way.
Okay.
The first to be guests, if things go through, are to be Magnanix and Nags. So they're pretty well known people in the community, I feel like. And I was talking to VR Pill about this earlier. I don't know if I brought it up. Oh, I think I did bring it up to you. But yeah, and then the week after, so not this coming Sunday, but the one after, this is almost 2 weeks from now, was thinking maybe it would be you and VR Pill.
I could do it.
Maybe.
Thanks.
Maybe.
I would love to do that.
Again, my
and if you don't,
be
I'm all
on your schedule.
Well, Sunday's fine. I'm here on Sundays. We do our meetup as long as it's not 6 p.m. Eastern. We do the meetup for 2 hours. We've been doing the meetup for years.
People will probably be a little taken back by it, but I put some thought into this, and it's I want it to be authentically a podcast. So this is way more of a talk show, and you do a fucking amazing job. Your questions are on point and extremely fun to answer. So, and I think you got this. You got the talk show side of things, but we don't have a podcast. You know what I mean? Now, the nice thing about a podcast... Oh, go ahead.
Well, we have a show called Endgame, and to me, show podcasts can be the same, but it's all topic-based, if that's what you mean, like a podcast.
Oh, sure. No,
they're all about
that probably is a podcast. I'm not saying that I'm the first guy to do it either. But
is that what you're talking about? I guess is it topic-based that you're more interested in? You're not interviewing people, but you have them come on, let's talk about this kind of stuff. Or is it random? What's the format going to be like?
Bring in the guests. That's the beautiful. Jeez. That's the beautiful thing about podcasts is the people that you invite in are the subject, right? That's the theme basically, and then you just get at the table and you start talking, and it just goes. There's no you don't have to tackle anything. You can just kind of talk, and there can be some themes to sort of state the next part of the podcast. One I want to do is what happened to you in VR. What was the craziest thing that happened to you in VR this week? You know what I mean? And that that's an example. But for the most part, podcasts are just people with like-minded people coming together to have a chat for a good chunk of time. And that's what I'm excited for. with that.
Well, are you planning on
yeah,
publishing it
podcast
as
makes
like
it
an
fun.
audio version and putting it out on Stitcher,
audio
iTunes, and all
version,
that?
like an actual legit podcast, which I'll research into that, by the way, to make sure that's good to go for the first one. If anything, I'll rip the audio from my stream or whatever. And I'll live stream it. But the whole thing I was culminating to is that there won't be an audience. It'll be a private room of just those people. Only the people talking in the podcast and the camera guy. So, and that's it. Like,
right.
But that's what
it's about the production of the show a little bit more than catering to a live audience, which means the production could suffer, with random shit. Yeah.
Well, I don't mind an audience at all. It's just the fact that it's a podcast. It's more about it's like an intellectual exchange of just opinions, thoughts, just talking. It's kind of hard to explain a podcast. They're really chill. They're really chill. It's a really chill thing.
Absolutely. I think everybody knows kind of what. There's some various different ones. I mean, there's true crime podcasts. There's all kinds of different ones, and what they do.
The overarching theme will always be VR. I'm sure we'll sidestep a little bit, but it's in the name of VR. I'm on board, man. I'm swinging that flag so fucking hard. I don't care if I'm just the crow's watch. I am swinging the flag.
And you're saying Sundays? You may
Sundays.
be every Sunday, or maybe Sundays?
I think I want to do it every Sunday. I want to prepare through the week. I'm going to be playing, so I'll be able to meet guests and stuff. I know that a guest that I already have a guest lined up for the week after that. I already know for a fact, which is Goshujin. I don't know if you know that person, but that's actually a personal.
No, just from your stream, seeing you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a personal thing of mine. They seem to be really active with their VR in the community. They have a really incredible model. It's kind of funny. She's this really scary Japanese dead girl sort of model, but she's always there and hanging out with people and making for a good time. It's kind of like Gumochi almost in a way. It reminds me of how they're so interactive with their VR. And it's just fun to see them because they
got the emotions, overrides that squinting, smiling, all that stuff.
And they smile
crazy
at you,
awesome.
the crossed eyes, the crossed what is it? The squinted crossed eyes. It's just too cute. Yeah. So I was thinking about her, and she specifically asked during the last prototype. She was behind me, and she was like, "Could people like me come on?" I was like, "Absolutely, yeah." You never know. Maybe I'll have to push you guys a week, huh? Bring her.
We're here. We're always here, man. Anytime you need us, we're here.
I'm messing with you.
You can't hurt my feelings with I'm cool. It's your show. You do. I'm here to support if you like it, and I'm honored, of course, because
I can't believe that you.
We'll have a good time.
It's not fair. I'm honored by you. That's the bottom line. We're done. Okay. I've been here for 5 days.
All right.
So I've been here for a week.
But it's still cool.
Okay, I'm honored to be here
cool
with
people
you.
Are cool people. I'm honored to have you guys here. I can't stop feeling that way.
Free ticket. You're a badass. All right. You and V-Pill are doing business.
So, what I do?
And a lot of other people. I don't want you guys to think I don't.
That's right.
I don't understand that.
Just keep a couple more things, and we'll let you people go. I do go long. For me, it's like bringing somebody all the way out from Washington. I like to spend a little bit of time.
I love long chats like this, so you could go longer and I wouldn't be worried about it. But I do understand the pain of an audience sitting and listening to us droll.
I know.
Platinum up there. He's just ready to go.
When are we going to interact or something? If you guys have questions or comments,
I'm going
throw
to the
them all
Void
out
Club,
there.
by the way, after this. I love the Void Club.
Dude, I love the Void Club.
I am a huge... That's I have two favorite maps in this whole shebang so far.
What you got?
Believe it or not, it's not actually the Pug. I love the Pug, but my favorite maps are the Void Club and Grassy Night. Oh, Grassy Night.
So beautiful there.
Something been so simple and so appealing. It's so nice to go to Grassy Night with people. Because how people get clustered together in the indoor environment of a world. But in Grassy Night, there's no environment. It's just bright sunlight moon, and little mild hills where people can go and sort of spread out and talk in segregated groups in a nice way and move in between the groups. It just feels right. It feels like a really peaceful, chill environment. I love that map so much. I'm a huge fan. But the Void Club doesn't get better than that.
Oh yeah, and some of those tracks to the Void Club, I had to find them. I had to track them down on YouTube, and now they're part of. They're pretty good.
Legitimately good
hot
songs,
shit.
And there's a lot of them, so you don't hear the same song over and over. It's really nice. And then they got the chill room on the side, so you can like step away from the loud music, and there's still music in the chill room.
It's important.
But it's like way quieter. Like whoever did that, it was smart. It was smart.
Yeah, you got to design for. You got to think about people and how they interact and what they're gonna like. If you want your room to become popular, you got to really cater to those sorts of things.
I need to look into a modeler for a podcast studio. I love the studio you showed me, by the way. Don't get me wrong. So really.
Oh, you need your own custom though. Oh no, that's just
I just think that because I'm really integrating it as a designated as a podcast, like you can just basically do that with like 4 microphones at a table, and like a table in a nice room that has like a Shamrock7 thing on it somewhere.
Absolutely, got to be branded. Now you said something like calling it VRcaster or VR podcast. You still thinking that's going to be your name, or
I wanted to be VRcast. But before somebody else does that,
somebody's already done that.
A few years from now, it could be a big deal. VRcast.
Already
Is
done.
there a VRcast already?
There's a VRcasters network. Yeah.
Oh, VRcasters.
And it'd be a little weird, I think. Bobby has a podcast called the Left-Handed VR podcast, and Reverend Kyle goes all the way back.
So that's
why not? Or Shamrock Live? You don't like it's freaking alliteration.
So bad though. It sounds like it just like
Shamrock7 show.
Shamrock7 show.
I would ask your audience and your people. Yeah, and for me, I don't like things with VR in it anymore. It's
maybe it's just Shamrock7 VR podcast.
Like VRChat is what we know, but we would have liked to have found a better name. It's just still we couldn't find anything else. But having VR in it just gets a little bit too on the nose, and people learn your brand through who you are. They know it's VR because they know it.
It makes me think. Maybe I think it just is Shamrock7, and then like with like a smaller undertitle, it's just the like VR podcast. Because I have my Twitch show where I do live stream, but then it's like that's the podcast part. Like that's what we're in the podcast is like Twitch is Shamrock7.
Still in
podcast. I'm Jack, by the way. I don't know if I actually said that even, but I'm Jack.
Would you rather be called Jack?
His name is Shamrock7.
Yeah.
I would, but I also I don't know.
What's up there?
To change my it's not enough to change that. I don't think. It's kind of like Nags. Like if people get close to Nags, they call him Nags. But his character's Joey Bagels. I guess that's different because mine's a show name. You know what I meant, though.
It's all branding. It ain't
people
easy.
Could be on a closer level with me if they know me as Jack.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I gotta start calling you Jack.
Absolutely. What's your real name, Gunter? I'm just kidding.
Gunter. That's all you get to know. It's not my real name, but that's what.
All I need
it's me so much that's all you need. Yeah.
That's fine.
People learn. It's Gunter. I have a full name. I actually gave myself goddamn first, middle, and last name.
It's like, I know Gunter really well. We've traveled together and stuff, and it's just strange to try and call him by his real name.
Yeah.
Okay.
It never feels right either for me.
Can I tell you a secret? Jack isn't my real name either. Basically.
Oh.
It's just my internet. It's my Gunter. Jack is literally my Gunter.
Yeah, I was trying to find more about you. I'm like, damn it. There's no LinkedIn. There's no nothing.
As well. Super weird.
Is it last name too? Like that.
Desire is just a
interesting
random name. You know what? It was the name of my Final Fantasy 14 character when I first made it. Now it's named Shamrock7, obviously the character, but you can't change your Twitch @ At least I don't think you can. So yeah.
That's how it goes. You can't be perfect.
But that's alright. At least I had half my name in there. I was like Zaire. That sounds like a cool last name. Sounds like an elf last name or something.
I give myself the title Gunter S. Thompson. That's big
go.
Fan of Hunter S. Thompson and Ready Player One.
Clover. That's what I go for. Because of this.
There you go. Yeah. So just a little history on VR podcasts and shows. There was one called RiffMax Live. That was the first talk show. I went for a few episodes. Then I dawned on another place called Virtually Incorrect. It was like politically incorrect. I've seen that on Comedy Central. It was a round table. Then I came to VRChat, started Gunter's Universe. Currently there's another show called Endgame that happens on Wednesday nights. And then on Saturdays, it's good. Sundays are good night. Saturdays is going to be the Man-Child Show. They're a podcast in real life, been going for about 4 years. Really interesting. Lots of funny, like Howard Sternish. There's a crew there. And then your Sunday, what time do you think you want to do yours on Sunday?
I honestly am gonna be honest.
I guess it doesn't matter because it's not live. You don't have to be there. Yeah. So you can flex it.
Like if people catch it when it's live, they catch it. But
but on the stream, right? Not live for people in VRChat, right?
The audio will be there forever. People could go back and listen to that audio a year from now if they wanted to. I'm not thinking anybody would, but unless somebody like falls in love with the podcast.
Oh well, shit! You're making history.
All of them while I do my Unity work. Then yeah, fine.
Of course that'll happen, and you're making history, man. All of us in the beginning here doing the first shows. There's gonna be a million of these things someday, man. We're the first.
The fact that you
dozen.
you allow me to say, or like you say that I am on that wave, it means a lot to me. I feel like I'm late, like I told you. I feel like I'm already late. I don't have like bragging rights to say I'm like, oh man, I'm totally in VR early, when there's like people sitting around me who have been doing this for months, maybe years already. But I am respectful to that. I'm super respectful to the people that have already been embedded in this community. So like, I'm putting my stake in the sand, so to speak, like I said. So they
you are super humble.
Opinion. Yeah.
You've been like, oh, I don't want to talk. I've seen on the stream you muted it, like, oh, I don't want to get in here and just start talking with everybody. You know, you're like, these people have been here for a while. You're not trying to hijack shit. It's been.
I know my place. That's something I've always been really good about, is knowing my place. Some people don't know that I know my place until they prove it. You know, like proof by example. Actions speak louder than words. But for the most part, people that I've had negative reactions with for stuff, in the end, they realize I have honest, altruistic reason for being here. I'm totally want to be a part of the community from now on. I know I wasn't there originally, and I don't want to step on any toes of people. And just be like, oh, I'm a new stream. I came in with the Steam wave. Yeah. Wow.
Please don't talk like that. Anything that you ever do, please, God, I have to turn it off. I have to unsubscribe. I like it though.
It's good. It's what I do when I have to do it. Like when plebs complain in games, I imitate them with that voice. It's pretty good. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm in.
So I only have
I'm fucking in. All chips on the table, dude. It's bad news for me. I'm one of.
This is great news.
I'm one now.
Yeah, you turn off the stream and you just chill with people. You take your time to be the community.
It's the only game I can do that with, because I'd always play games until the end of my stream, and then I'd be like, well, time to text girls that don't have any interest in me and go to sleep, right? That's how you live your life. That's the normal male life, right? But like with this game, it's like, well, I'm gonna end my stream because I want some fucking time to myself in VRChat. It's like a new phenomenon for me. I'm sure everybody else understands now, people have been embedded into it. But like for me, it's new. It's like, I usually don't really give two shits about gaming unless I'm streaming, because I've been streaming for years. So like, streaming video games is more entertaining than just playing a random single-player video game all by myself. Nobody to talk to about it. Nobody to show it to. To me, that's how I look at it. It's like, why would I play it if I can't show it to anybody? Why would I play it if I don't have people to talk about my experience while I'm doing it? But this game is like, no, I need to go spend some time in Grassy Night with my closest in-game friends and just talk about old times. And shit.
Yeah.
And there's no other game in the world like that. There's no other social game in the world that has that experience.
Yeah, to entertain and feel like you got to keep, you can just be you.
Relax.
And other people be them. Relax.
Have a drink of some purple drink, some purple drink, and live life. Well, have you seen the new bar, the Rare Bloom? It has like, it's laggy.
On its debut night, I was one of the bartenders in the second instance.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Oh, dude, it's pretty.
I love those guys.
Really
I've met some of those guys in real life.
It's
fantastic. The what?
How bad were the crashes that night?
Oh, yeah. That's why there was a second instance, and I was manning that because it was so bad. And it's
so weird. It's so cool.
The reason it's so bad is somebody hitting the drink dispenser just a million times. So me being there was to, make sure that shit didn't happen and kick people out.
There's a rare chance for the creativity juice one to lock, and it was it locked on us, and it was just going, just like putting out thousands of fucking cans. And I was like, no,
shit, that's pain.
I was already looking for a portal. I'm like already trying to open a portal to get out of there, and the frames just crushed to like 0. It was crazy.
Oh man, it's a beautiful bar. When things like they're gonna change some stuff so that is not gonna be possible for people to do or stuff. So
maybe some auto despawns would be good, probably.
Yeah. and moving them so people can't hit them, like on the other side of the
like
wall.
a wall on that bar would be really great, just like an invisible wall, because that's what causes problems. Like if you have some VR users, in VR headset and hands users behind there as bartenders, it has this immersive ass feeling of like you can bring your empty cup back to the bartender, and I don't know, it's just kind of cool. It's just, I like that.
Go back up. That's great.
So cool.
And they're all based on real drinks in real life. It's pretty. And I had some of those drinks when I went. There's been real life meetups with people in here, and there was 20 of us in Orlando last month, and I booked this huge Airbnb house, and we just...
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It's incredible. I'll tell you about this stuff after the show if you guys
Tell me about it. Invite me next time, dude. Invite me. I'd love to travel. I'll go and do it.
There'll probably be one in California area soon, so you definitely will be... that'll be right. I probably won't be able to make that one.
Honestly. I don't mind that drive, but I'll probably fly next time.
I would fly. Yeah. So feedback questions. The last thing it's not really a question, was to tell you about OVR drop. So when you start getting your VR and you start doing your show, you're going to have your desktop inside here, and you want to be able to click on things, and you can't really type or anything, but I have my spreadsheet here, and I got my tabs.
I'm clean. Like my room's not that dirty. I guess that's not what I mean by saying cleaning. By cleaning, I mean like I'm making a VR space, like I'm making my space, man.
You got. How big your space gonna be? Do you know?
I'm formatting my PC and downloading nothing but VRChat and my streaming utensils. Everything I need for streaming and VRChat. That's it. It's gonna be a VR machine. Period. That's all it is.
You're not gonna do Arc in VR?
Oh fuck! I forgot they have Arc VR, don't they? It's that is kind of a weird experience, though. I'm glad you bring that up, because it's sort of like maybe like an arcadified version of Ark. It's not like you don't like build your own house and live and survive and tame dinos. You don't even tame dinos. You just you shoot dinos. No, you shoot dinos and look at dinos. It's like they call it Ark Park. It's called Ark Park.
But isn't there a hack though, or a way you can do the whole Ark? I thought people were really.
Oh, is there
playing the whole Ark? Yeah.
You might be right. I forgot about that.
And it's been out for years, but it's been terrible performance and problems. But there was a bunch of people on here playing it and really enjoying it too.
I think users have to set it up with a bunch of downloaded programs and stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy.
It is.
I don't know if I want to have a T-Rex fucking chasing me down the beach in VR.
I bet it's insane. Yeah.
Might make for good content though.
Yeah, me screaming. Velociraptors are chasing me!
It would be terrible. In VR, man, that shit's crazy. Horror games, man, that's a thing.
I'm gonna have to do it too. Like when I get my VR, I'm not gonna only use it for VRChat. I'm gonna try out other VR games.
Oh, you have
VRChat being the hub of all that. I've got to do some horror games. People are gonna want to see me fucking launch that shit off my head so fast. Have you done that? Have you had to just fly off your head because you had a jump scare? Nah. Okay.
Nah. But I mean, I get worked up. I think I've gotten pretty freaked, and it's turned up loud, and I'm just like, oh fuck, and I'm
right. Oh,
get a little freaked out. Want to take it off.
Too much.
I know it's coming, and it's the chills in the back of the neck and shit. Man. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. So this is pretty much me wrapping it up. I'm just gonna do some plugs, but feel free. Where should people find you, Jack?
All right, you can find me at Jack Zire with a Y on Twitter. But more importantly, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Shamrock7. I live stream almost every single day, and I live stream for so long that I can't actually have a scheduled stream. It's just, check it out. I'm probably live usually.
Oh yeah.
Right now I'm not live because I wanted to have my full attention on this. This is important to me. And I don't know if I'm gonna go live after this, but you never know. There might just be a little Shamrock magic in the middle of the night, If you're feeling lucky, come and check out the show. Yeah.
Cool. And a couple of just announcements. The new VRChat hub is there, and it's just awesome. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. There's a lot of information about events in the center.
After this. I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, we should definitely take a trip to that.
I've seen it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's a piano room.
You can jump.
Yeah, there's some other things.
You can jump. You can jump there.
Everybody wants to jump, except you can't hear for reasons. I don't want people jumping around.
I love how like your model and like the way your VR setup, dude. Like it's so when you're like you can jump. There's just the most like realistic.
You can
body
jump.
language thing. Like I don't know, having a conversation with someone you can read their body language. It's
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
I could go on forever. We should probably wrap it up. You're
We
right.
could. We could go and
Can I
go.
ask you a question, Gunter?
Shoot it up, man.
When did you start
Salty.
this game, or were you here at the beginning?
Day one, man. When Graham was just a college project on Christmas break, and I had been, just in VR from almost day one, with the first wave of headsets being basically delivered, or the ones right after the Kickstarter
those old
backers.
prototype ones. I remember like looking at them in magazines.
EK1.
They were like huge. I didn't have one or anything, but like they were huge, right? They were way bigger, weren't they?
They were a bit definitely bigger. They weren't huge or anything. I don't know about magazines though. So I don't know. Still an Oculus headset. Shitty frames, black smeared, all this like other shit. But it's the real 3D, and it was very it's a lot of what just VR is now. And so yeah, and I was always interested in doing shows and shit.
Would you recommend a Vive or an Oculus? Sorry to bust that out.
Yeah, it always comes down.
How much space do you have?
think. Yeah, what's the size of your space?
Well, right now, I probably wouldn't have too much of a great experience without being in seated mode, but I am fucking destroying shit tomorrow, dude. I'm making multiple trips to the dump. I'm getting rid of this old dresser that doesn't need to be around. I'm getting rid of this disgusting fucking
this wall here.
that I have. It's
Get
gone.
rid of it.
This wall, gone. I want an extension. No, that's why I wanted to get the Vive though, is because of movement space. I feel like that's super important for this. It's also, it's good. It's a bittersweet evil though, because like you get used to the freedom, and then that's when you find yourself like bumping into the fucking wall.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
So
The
much
chaperone
freedom
stuff.
to forget.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I got 10 by 10 foot. I use the Rift. An extra camera takes care of it. I don't have any problems with any tracking. The extra camera is $80, so you tack that on. But there's no motion control. There's no extra like peripherals coming out. Whereas the Vive tracking program, it's still very development stuff. It's not really consumer product. But you can get motion, on your legs and on your pelvis here. You can get pelvis thrusts. It's really going to be fantastic. But there's limitations. It's expensive, and batteries have to charge on it, and calibration.
Speaking of expensive, I'm going for the foot and hip pucks, they call them. Pucks for HTC Vive. The pucks.
Oh, well, that's what you got to get. Yeah, if you want that, then yes, you get that.
In February. Yeah. So I won't have feet until February because it's $300 more for $100 per puck. But in February, I'll be tap dancing in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'll be tap dancing up in here.
I want to see some people doing dance lessons. Like, I need to learn how to dance.
Dude,
and
man,
I want that.
I seen Electro Swinger.
Yeah, man.
Fucking crazy.
What do you think he's doing right now? What do you think he's doing right now?
He was dancing
sleeping.
for like 12 hours.
Oh, is he sleeping?
Dude,
yeah. He's a monster.
I was physically like distraught watching how long he was dancing for, and how he was going hard. He wasn't just like moving his hands to the side. Dude was like going fucking ham on it. God damn. Y'all seen Electro Swinger out there?
Oh yeah. He got a squad now.
He was
he's a real robot.
I saw one dude was pretty crazy. He was like doing like the hip tone. He put his legs all wide.
Oh great! I saw a guy do the YMCA. That was pretty cool. It was just random, but I haven't. YMCA.
I think
also
that's the
dabbing.
best experience I've ever had.
You can do it. I don't do it. That's too young stuff for me. I can't do that.
See, I didn't like dabbing before this game. I was like, oh, dabbing is whatever. It seems like a
they got you with it,
or whatever. Now it's like, oh man, I cannot wait to fucking pop the fattest, hardest dab when I get a VR headset. I'm gonna be like, oh!
Remember you said you'd destroy the mountains with your dab.
I know.
Destroy the mountains with your dab.
You ever, sorry, not Hitman, One Punch Man, where he gets challenged by his android buddy, and he like defeats him by putting his fist to his face? but behind him, the mountain is bored out in a circle, just bored out of the fucking land. That's what's gonna happen when I dab for the first time, okay?
Please don't do it
that's all I gotta
here.
say.
I don't want to destroy the set. It's very precious to me.
I'll do it at the old hub. That place is indestructible.
Yes, it is. All right, that's it for me. Just follow me on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter. You can find me, Gunter, also Gunter444 on some of those places. You can go to GuntersUniverse.com and all the links are there. There's also a Patreon link if you want to, throw a little tip my way. I'm not going to say no to it. But just being here watching is such a big deal, and thank you for doing that. And so that is it. That concludes Gunter's Universe. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, for listening to us yammer on and on and on till what feels like the break of dawn. And it's been great. So here's some outro music for you guys. I love you. See you next week. Cheers. Stretch the legs time. Oh, yeah. Good show. Good show.
That was actually really amazing. Your questions are on point. I know I said that already, but you don't understand. It's important to me. I'm a talker.
Hold on. I turned down the music.
Yeah.
I turned it down to like 13. There you go. What do you need?
Nice red beer me shirt.
Is saying,
You're watching it too?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. There's actually, I was actually sitting next to, well, not at the ending area, but like I was sitting next to someone who was streaming across from me, as well, and I was streaming, still am too, and clearly you are as well. So like, there's more than 3 streams going on at the same time in the same room.
I wanted to ask Gunter something and see what scariest place he's been here in VR, because there's one place that freaking scared the living shit out of me.
Oh yeah, the other person is Salt. Is
short
Salt
stream.
7.
But I gotta go chill first.
Short
Hey,
stream.
look,
Right.
listen.
Yeah,
Right. They cheer me on the stream longer. Like, I'm all like, oh man, nothing's happening. This is probably the boring part of the stream. It's a good time to close out. And everyone's like, 12 more hours in my fucking chat. Like,
I gotta go to the convenience store, get something to eat.
This was a
drink.
24-hour live stream. I can't do 12 more. It's just like,
that 48-hour stream, is that what?
That was for 7,000 followers.
I want to do something like that here in VR. We've had somebody do 48 hours in VRChat once.
Yeah.
But I want to
Oh, dude, I'm on board.
hanging out and playing.
Yeah.
I'll
do it.
I was streaming that and I didn't have to do nothing. I just watched you guys.
We were both
I didn't
streaming
have
as
to do any
well.
work.
Me and Jamie were both
I'm
streaming.
known for staying up ridiculous hours. I'll be up in this for 48 hours. Sometime soon. It won't be long before it happens. Naturally.
I'll do it with record if you can stay up for that long.
Well, see, that's I want to do the Guinness record within VR on the
Wait, the record's only 30.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing.
You'd be going for
it's like I was saying, I don't get disoriented. I don't get headaches. I don't even get motion sickness.
I was on a
like,
VR for
I don't
4
know
days
why
one straight.
I have such a solidarity to that.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. So like, for me, I got an iron stomach, man, and I got eyes of steel. So I'm very excited to try to see how long I can go in VR. Like one day, the first day I get it,
I think this honors it though. Like these people that got the Guinness so far, there was like a production. They're at a place. It's green screen.
You have to have people there and stuff.
Okay. Do they have? You have to have a priest in game and out of game. You have to have you have to have the state marshal.
I think you have to have like 2 people there or something like live.
Yeah, no, they also have to be, if I'm not mistaken, the Guinness World Records book requires you to have someone of higher ranking.
Sorry.
They consider, like, well-known priests and stuff to be these kind of people, or like military generals. Weird shit, those kind of people. It's kind of weird. And then like, if they can confirm that that's a valid, honorable, person to witness it, then they can be a part of it, and they'll confirm it. Yeah, they're really crazy about their stuff. I guess you have to be, so that you don't have a bunch of people being like, no, I jumped 40 feet! I jumped 40 feet! Totally did it!
Yeah, but I don't know anyone who's done longer than Chris Miranda as far as inside of a headset for a longest period of time.
How long's that?
100 hours.
Oh my god.
Straight?
Holy cow.
You go to sleep?
Yeah.
Without sleeping? If you sleep with the VR on. If you slept with the VR on, I can understand it.
Yeah, you slept with it on. Went to the bathroom with it on also.
Hey man, I'm crazy, man. Watch out. I'm already addicted and I'm in desktop mode. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen.
Just you
I think the Guinness record they have is for...
I know. The 3D alone, not including the hands.
Not just being in the headset and sleeping.
Yeah.
So there's like one room.
It's great in VRChat because you can stay up forever because of all the stimulation. So this is the app to do
there's
it,
people here 24/7 now.
He did Tilt Brush. It has to be one app is what they said, and it was Tilt Brush in his case, but fucking VRChat, man.
Oh man, I can get out of my mind to Tilt Brush after that long.
I know.
The funniest thing is the place I'll never go again. I'll never go again because it fucked me the freak out. Was the one place? It's like a really creepy like scary house deal, and you like go inside and you got to go look around through all the doors, and you got to jump over that big old hole in the ground. And there's this like creepy like ghost thing that walks around, and whenever it captures you, it like freaks out and gets you. I was like seeing in the corner of the there's in the doorway. I was looking around. I was like, "There's something in there." Oh my god! I'm freaking out all by myself.
That's what I'm saying about Ark, man.
I opened the door, and it like jolted at me, and I'm like, "Oh, this freaked."
Oh god!
Oh my god! I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
I don't want to be like cooking up my little campfire and like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah. It's full life-size.
Fucking running at you. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they patched them so that they roar on their own in the wild now. They don't only roar when you ride them. So like you could potentially have a roaring, stampeding, roaring T-Rex running at you in that game.
Yeah, you would hear it before you even looked at it as well, because you'd be in the campfire and then you
it sounds like not a big deal, but like since everybody knows I'm talking about VR, it's like whoa. I don't know if I want to fucking
if you're in VR,
T-Rex, dude. They break the trees.
Yeah.
Like if they run at you, they'll break the trees in the way. So like you see the trees falling out of the way of it, and like fucking devastating. You don't want to be there.
I gotta do that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, try it out. Try it out. You know what? I recommend playing single player Ark. It is cool to play with multiple people, but it's evolved so far now that it's almost like a better single player game than it is a multiplayer game, unless you want to.
That's how I've only played it single player.
It's an incredible game single player, and I think a lot of people don't. A lot of people from my community don't know that because they're only role play. They wouldn't even think about playing the game if it wasn't for role play. But like, if you just spend a little bit of time in single player in that game, you find yourself building some shit, and you're like thinking about the future, and you're like thinking about the types of armies you're gonna breed and shit. Like, it gets really good in single player content. Gunter, you're amazing, man. I felt honored to be here, by the way.
I'm glad, man. That's great. I don't know. It's just always great to have cool people that can have a great conversation. People want to show up to this thing. You know, it's.
You'll be great on the podcast. Is all I could say. Like, they're definitely going to be great on the podcast. Think of it. It's basically going to be like the conversation we had here, except for we stumble into the subjects basically based off of the riffing off of each other. All it takes is introductions. Like, you introduce yourself, and like you already have a subject like comes out of that already naturally, and then it just goes and goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you like boners? I like boners.
Yeah, I like boners. Yeah, I like when I get boners. You know what I mean?
People are streaming this.
Yeah.
Hey, I like little girls and boners and kissing animals.
3 anime girls with like, man.
Stream that.
Boners are.
Later video of Gunter on the sword of.
I've had some people say some weird stuff, so.
Good thing I stopped streaming.
Yeah.
I've had people say weirder things.
I'll be the weird guy. I don't mind.
Gunter, you created something on the internet. It's the internet. It's fine. That's all you can do and say. It's the internet. That's what I have. That's my retort to people that get on here and like, oh, this is so weird. I can't walk into this mirror room with mildly adverse characters. It's like,
get over it.
But it's the internet. You could have You know how many, like,
it's
there's
fine thinking
way
it's
worse
weird.
places on the internet than
Aren't you
this.
interested though? In,
There's Second Life.
I see weird shit. Some of
Yeah,
it is
like, maybe
different
it's
than I
weird,
would
but,
have
like,
thought,
maybe
but
it's
then I
good
learned, or you don't have to go around things you don't like. You know?
Yeah.
There's certain people, certain behaviors.
I've seen some people. They go around and they say make VRChat great again because they don't like.
You've seen that?
Have happened. Yeah, I've
So,
seen it.
there's
I got
small,
a problem with that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
This happened. This happened the first month, March, basically. And it was a big
when it
deal. And it was
came out?
Trump hats. They actually had Trump hats.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah. That was it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
I asked everybody to cut that shit out because
So-
that wasn't fair for us people that are working very hard.
It's not fair for you
and
guys
to
as
not be
developers,
friends and like
too.
helping this out. Like, hey, you want this, but like this is just being assholes instead of like.
Right, and there's
This
no
isn't
way
just
like,
all in
they have
stone,
to.
or it's all like we're evolving here.
They
Yeah,
have
but
to
you
be
know the funny
to
thing?
understand that there's going to be change. Change will come no matter what. It doesn't matter what it is. It's never going to be the same
And them
niche
doing that doesn't
internet
do anything.
thing.
Yeah,
But
it
like
doesn't do
change will
anything.
come in the right direction. You guys are all obviously are working heart and soul into going in the right direction. You don't want to wrong anybody. But I think it's
The flip side is
I
these
agree.
people are so passionate and they want it and they love it all in stone. That part is
Yeah.
excellent, you know, and that they care that much. But
And like streaming
really
it
wanna fight
will
over
really
it.
help it out too. Like get more people like streaming it and getting it more more people seeing it. It's gonna get way more popular too.
Yeah.
Like the community's so great because the thing that happened to that guy, the guy that was like doing all this stuff, the whole everyone on
Like
the
6
world
people adjusting their
grouped
VR
together.
headsets.
Everyone on the world grouped together, like 40 of us,
Is it like
and we just blocked
hair
out the
gets all
sign.
stuck?
We all worked
Yeah.
together
Fucking long hair
to block out
sucks
the
with
sign.
the.
Yeah, it was funny.
sorry, I'm having a little
Oh,
trouble.
it's
I
fine.
didn't. I'm sitting here. No, say it again.
Oh,
That was my
I
fault.
said that the whole world like grouped together and we blocked out the sign and it was great because the whole like community, the whole world, and that was my second day here and that's what
Which
made
sign?
me want to play this.
There was,
it was like
or...
it was just make VR chat great again and it was
Oh,
it was really
oh,
stupid.
that's
and
cool.
I wonder how long those people have been here.
If
What,
it
like
makes you feel
2
any better,
weeks?
Gunter, VRChat has only gone upwards in the direction that it's gone. There's the opinions may have gone down from people that had a very exclusive, segregated environment just to themselves and are being challenged by foreign people coming into it, and they don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of these foreign people don't act or have the same values as them. That's how it works. It's like that's straight up immigration in the textbook. But like,
Oh, I wonder, is it
that
like
doesn't
that? Like,
mean
it's
that
just
America's
influx of new
fallen.
people?
Like if this is
That's what
if
they
they're
don't
making
like?
an immigration reference, it doesn't mean America's fallen just because you have immigration coming in. It's like the start of a new empire, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to build in some way, and some people will probably get upset with that. There's people who want vanilla WoW, and they wanted it so bad that they actually shoved it out of their ass, you know? So like,
and then they're gonna go back.
There'll
and
always be
realize
those
that's not
people
what
that
they
are like,
wanted at all.
VRChat is not the same. It's not. Me and
you like.
We're not all watching each other's anime dances in succession. We're being
like
challenged by new people.
You know when you really want something, and then you get it, and then you realize.
No offense, by the way,
it's
to
not
the
what you
anime
wanted.
dancers.
That's them. They're
life.
getting something
It's
new,
called life.
and they don't realize. They don't realize that it's something that's
Right.
going to be great. You know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with
Well,
all
they're and the
toxicity,
internet, and they think, you know, everybody just can spout whatever they want on the internet. And
with
think
all
anybody cares.
popularity and toxicity, there'll be a big flush of people. Sometimes you'll get these big, like, multi-thousand, like, active viewer flushes, right? But those, like, man, 97% of those people are gonna, like, flesh off and go back to what they were doing and not be fully dived in. Yeah, you've seen it. You've seen people that come into VRChat one day and they never come back again. They're like, "Well, that was wild, guys, huh? Back to fucking streaming WoW."
Yeah, the streamers that just
those people will always
troll.
be there, and then it allows almost like a natural cream of the crop community sort of to rise over time. Over time, you'll have a beautiful cream of the crop community, and it'll be huge. You know, huge.
It was a little scary
Not that
when
it's right.
we first were on Steam.
Yeah, I bet.
Britbong. Anybody ever
That must
heard
have
of
been so
Britbong?
nerve-wracking for you guys, though, right?
Fucking A, man.
Good. I wish I had it. I wish I had it.
From the UK, he's when he streams, he's got like 500 to 1,000 people watching.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke about needing lip balm. God damn it.
No, Brit. Like,
I wish I had some.
like I'm smoking a bong. Yeah, Brit bong. It's just this guy. He's actually, I don't know if he's famous, but there's like a Wikipedia of like shit troll kind of people. Like all the stuff about this guy's life and when he's trolled. And it wasn't that, but it was actually exposing this troll and like saying, you know, why, you know, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Internet's a weird place.
It's so weird. But yeah, there was just tens of dozens of people coming in, trolling, creating new accounts, and just constant. Like we were up for like 24 hours, just like beating these people back.
Good on you, though. I think that
we won't ever stop fighting.
You know what though?
You know,
if it makes you feel any better, I've been here for a whole week, right? And I've encountered one troll, one single guy that was a troll. And it was, I blocked him, and he came back like 2 or 3 days later. Same dude, obviously, same dude. Same models and everything, so it was the same dude. I mean, in my opinion, at least, unless there's some crazy 4chan thread that's like, here's the Hitler model. Anyway, that was the only troll that I have encountered the whole time. Everybody, every single other person has been just like genuine and awesome.
And that's what you mostly get. But there's also, I mean, there's trolls every day, and you know, might not see it, or
it's
you know,
the internet.
Us mods, we do like to go around all the rooms, say hello, or just make sure they're not some fucking cesspool, you know, going on. Mostly hubs, because people, like new people, could be anybody, grandma, whatever, dropping into VRChat right in that hub. Obviously, not catering this place for grandma, but you know, there's all kinds of different people, and you want, you know, them not to feel like.
Well, you have there's effectively people who are way out of the age, so to speak.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And people get
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, see you later.
All right, go have your fun.
Hey, Gunter.
When you're done, I'll gun bowling. I'll join you, Gambit. I'll join right off of you. See you there. I should probably get going too, or I'm going to talk forever. No offense, Gunter. It's a
Did you want to go to the hub?
Yeah, I want to go. Yeah, let's go to the
hub. I want to go look at that. Yeah, I haven't really looked at it.
Yeah, that's a compliment to you, and also me catching myself. Like I think I ramble up and run a whole new sequence.
That's how it goes, man. You know, you get stuck for hours and hours.
It's good. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you said we were 10 years apart, but I feel.
Woo-wee. God fucking damn it. Oh, fucking God.
I got kicked.
Actually, can be problems.
Yeah. VRChat like just bumped me to the hub like 2 times, and I didn't want to keep bugging you with
mean
invites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really worrying about that. Yeah.
So,
it sucks.
But yeah, I was like, whatever.
It's like you let it open for friends of friends, and it's just gonna get laggy as fuck. That whole show, I was not laggy at all. It's very nice to be able to host a show. I've done some shows that it's like the whole world is like this. I mean, I'm not kidding, man.
Like bouncing. You don't want that.
Yeah.
And so
no, I think that's the way to do it. You just need a better solution for that.
And the whole world went to like
just
1
got it.
FPS.
But what happens is they get kicked and they can't come back. So the 42 people turned into 20 because they couldn't get back in.
And
a
it's
lot
hard.
Of them.
It's almost like you gotta have like
it's just
a room
it's just where we're at
master.
right now.
Like if like the host of the show can't be the one that makes it almost. You have to have like a room master.
Yeah.
Then they deal with everybody and we invite people that get kicked. I might
we need like a
do that.
bouncer. We need a bouncer.
Well,
we actually did that.
That's how the future's going to be.
Salty? We don't need it because we're having only the podcasters are going to.
You don't need it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
It's going to really help a lot to not have to focus on that stuff.
Yeah, but having a separate person doing
it. What the future's going to be? I don't know if Bob's here, but Kenny is like it's what Coro's starting to do with security. They have with Improv's huge, and they have a security system now. They have
is it Improv roleplay?
A bouncer.
Like, is it Improv roleplay?
Well, it's like design is it anyway? It's actually scenarios.
Yeah, like roleplay comedy.
You know,
oh man, I gotta get into that.
You know, if you messed up, like and then ding ding, it's ending the
I'll wait
game.
till I have VR,
but
just, I gotta get into that after I got VR.
Who's line is anyways.
Really? VR Who's line?
You can.
You guys. Pretty much.
It's the set looks like it too. It's really nice.
Fucking waving at me.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Like to say
they actually practice on Saturdays, so that on Sundays they're ready to go. So it's pretty legit.
Okay.
But
little preemptive.
What he has now is the door's locked, and he can like look at you and be like, okay, I approve you, and click on them and hit the panel, and now you can go through the door. Or at any point in there, they can make somebody respawn. So if somebody's an asshole, they can just respawn them, and then of course they can also kick them. What I want to do is separate that a little bit, have like a loading world. It'll probably be like on a planet or something, and then you join there, a little get together, and then when it's time to go to the show, the bouncer lets you in, and then there's actually a portal there, and then the portal takes you to the private instance of my Gunter's Universe room. Just in case like a mob of people or 10 people come into the entrance, that doesn't take away resources from that actual live room that's happening. Somebody with a huge ass fucking polygon wrecker. So that's my plan. But I need there has to be a bouncer in that case. I would like to automate it. So you gave me a security system, and I'm going to be using that too. I've got a new set now. Olivier did the upgrade in the design, so these things are now going to start getting put in. Do you see a way that I could automate that though? I remember we were talking about like pin codes.
The only thing I gave you was you do pin codes. But the only thing I gave you is the same thing we have in game, where it's the localized stage security, where you basically can't get up on the stage unless you enter the pin. But you have to do that every time you load. So if you come back in, you've got to do it repeatedly. So it's not too huge an issue. But as far as
controlling guests, the guests would need the same pin.
Yeah. But I mean, it's definitely easy to keep people on their stage. It's just all it is just a local teleport trigger, it's a teleport trigger that you disable locally for yourself by entering the pin. And then it doesn't exist for you, but it exists for everyone else in the world.
Okay.
So they try to come up on the stage, and they're like, boop! Out they go.
I'm gonna walk away now for the best reason possible. I could literally talk to you forever. You're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and pee.
Take off, explore the hub some other time. You'll be in it throughout later.
I think I'm gonna check it out, man. I think I'm gonna have a look around. Maybe I'll see you. I literally, he's a great guy. I literally cannot stop talking to his magnificence. There we go. I'll go this way too. Okay, bye. Okay.
Shamrock, before you go, I wanted to let you know I got.
See you, man.
Gunter.
Who hasn't seen the hub? Who else hasn't seen it?
I haven't seen it. I've only seen this part. This is the only part that I've explored.
I've been on the game.
Is there?
I've been on the game for about almost 2 weeks, and I've already spent 185 hours on the game.
We're not having an audience.
That's fucked up.
I need to find.
You guys spend a lot more time than I fucking do.
Catching the Unity idea. I'll see if he's still around. Yeah, but anyway, that's why I vanished. I figured you didn't want me bugging you with invites like every 2 minutes, because it seemed like I couldn't stay in.
I finally got it. It's just I don't see it.
Yeah, but like I got that one time.
I think there's a problem with fully private rooms. I think I've discovered that.
Yeah. So it seemed like it would be piling up.
I wasn't a master myself.
Yeah.
Hey, Madman.
3 or 4 times.
Nice to see you.
Oh, where'd Mad? Oh.
All right. Do we want to go fast to the hub, or?
No, you showed. Give them the tour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a Mortal Kombat portal in here? Because sometimes I spawn in here, and I don't know where the Mortal Kombat thing is, because I have to get my avatar every time I log in. Because
It's a
I
world.
don't have.
Just look for MK Challenge
It's
Tower.
a world, though.
Yeah, go to Worlds and search MK and MK.
And you can
Challenge
search
Tower.
worlds.
That's right.
There you go. A lot of people don't know. I mean, a lot of our interface isn't intuitive.
Has anyone informed?
But if you're in worlds, the top right search. If you're in app and you're in social, the top right becomes the social search. So you can actually search out anybody that's a member of VRChat and add them as a friend, and they'll see that the next time they log on if they're not on.
It's easier because I'd spawn in the hub and then I just sort of walk to the portal, you know. It's quicker.
So is okay, come over here. Here's the avatar section. Have we put that in?
Thanks. I know I saw the hallway and Hachi's room. But it's, yeah.
So this is for people that design avatars that want to have them highlighted and have them shared in the community. You're gonna be able to go up and if you want that avatar, you can play with that. So that's one thing.
Okay.
So we like to highlight some people's work. Here's some more. I don't know about Morph. That's that.
I don't
no
want to change
portal
because I
here.
won't be able to go back.
The other custom avatar row. I bet they'll add it back. So right now you're gonna have to look for Big Al's World, the MK challenge. I think is what Lousy said. So you'll just have to do. You'll get good at just searching.
Yeah, it's MK Challenge Tower.
It'll take you just as much time to do that as it would to run over to that portal.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Or what's this? Oh, Big Al's Corridors is here. So okay, this is that.
It might be here then. It
Avatar
might be
place.
Somewhere here.
It would be over here if it was. So I'm thinking we don't have that one added. I think Big Al's was the kind of one we had most of the time.
Yeah.
Avatars there. This is a fountain. It's a place to, it's a place to explore hand-grabbing things for new people, so they can make a sculpture. This thing all floats in the midair there, so you can play with it. Little people get used to their, a lot of the toys that were put into.
Oh, that's good. That's good that you can't take the cubes outside. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. A little sandbox, I would say we call that. Different decorative art pieces. Are the birds?
Yeah, that looks good.
I don't hear them. Or do I have my sound down? Is that what's going on?
They're still chirping.
What's that?
And we'll finish off in the center, so let's just keep going around. New worlds, featured worlds, and then other worlds up there, the new worlds. So we've got like the Great Pug right now, we've got the gallery, we've got the Beeple Hub, and this is going to change, I think, weekly. So there'll be 3 new features every single week.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
People that do great jobs and get popular rooms out there, they'll be featured, or whatever.
How's it going?
There's no specific criteria right at this moment. Hey, PK, speaking of Beeple, boom, I say Beeple and you fucking appear. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. I came here and immediately you were showing these off.
That's pretty awesome.
I thought I heard this was the main hub now, but not quite yet.
Yeah, let me switch.
PK, everyone.
Oh yeah, because you're the camera.
It's supposed to be when you logged in. You know, I've had some reports that I tell people they log in. I set my shit to load somewhere else, so I actually haven't experienced it.
Wait, how do you do that?
I set
I've heard
my
that was
loading
possible.
to be GU.
Yeah, someone was talking about that. How do you do it?
It's through a string you put in. You know, when you're in a Steam game there, or in your library, and you're in a Steam, you have the set launch options.
You go to
properties, set launch options. You know, there's a string to put in there, and there's you need the world ID, your world ID. If you made one, you can you have access to that. Or if you wanted just the hub, I can get you like that ID or whatever, some other hub, private hub. Yeah. So just message me on Discord. I got you.
Sure.
I'll get you that.
But so nice to see this
I like doing that too. I like to be able to gather. Yeah. It's the new hub, man, and the new event system worked, which I'll talk about that at the very end. Yeah, PK's awesome.
Are you giving a tour?
I love that too. And PK. I am. PK's Beeple Hub. Beeple is an amazing artist. I'm not going to go into all of that, but there's a competition for people to create Beeple-inspired worlds, and that's what's in there, is links to all of those. And PK put all that together, the whole competition, and did that. So that's really cool when you see Beeple. Take a PK.
Most of that's art is other people, and it's really cool stuff in there.
Yeah. All right. So featured up there is new worlds. So as we make these new worlds public, you'll see them pop up here, and they change every so many seconds.
Oh look, it's
little
your
animation there.
Oh no, the guy left. Oh, the guy that created that world.
Somebody, I'd be cool. That is not the Great Pug, so that's interesting. I can't take a screenshot right now.
Hey, look, it's Gunter's universe.
There you go, it's your world. As you pointed at it as well.
Except it's not.
As you pointed at it.
This is the problem.
Oh.
That looks like the center desk of Gunter's universe to me.
Yeah,
it's
oh, well, that's interesting. Now I see Gunter's universe finally. I was seeing the Pug. Now it says Sunday meetup. It's going in. It's coming out.
Yeah, no,
boom. VR Pills.
Yeah, it looks like VR Pills place.
Yeah. Oh, well, because that's the right one this time, actually. But that's what was showing for me when I was looking at Gunter's universe for a little bit.
Yeah, a friend of mine was actually saying about it and how it's local, depending on who gets to the portal first. It would show the image differently.
Well, that's fine now.
And now it's showing the Great Pug.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
when it was
it's probably on a
disappearing,
time loop.
it shows the next one as the other one is zooming out before it pops back up.
Alright, I got a screen grab of that.
Oh, yeah,
report
I saw
that.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be reporting that because that's just gonna be happening all over the place. Okay, well, it seems to be working though now. That's what's interesting, is it fixed itself. But anyways, yeah, new stuff, right? Cool. And there's a mini map, and there's these tablets that talk about what events are going on, just other ways to communicate, right? Going forward, we'll be able to put shit there. And,
yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. So where's the mini map around here? Is that right here? Okay, so with these beams. Is that what that is? Yeah, there's been new stuff added since I... Okay, so we are here. New, featured. We started out in home here. We looked at avatars. We looked at the fountain. Let's take the portal, let's take this teleport over to the Panosphere. I'm going to go there now.
The eyeball.
You can just teleport.
You can hop around. Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a reminiscence of the old hub.
Well. It's cool.
So I won't get it as cluttered.
Before we go in there, something to know about, and will be more, I think, interesting, is if you open up your menu, there's camera, and most people don't really use what's under the camera. There's not really much there. There's two options: panos. There's one to save it locally in your pictures folder. Then you need something to view that with. Or you can put one up on VRChive, which is just vrchive.com. There's years of VRChat panos, along with other people that have partnered with VRChive. It's very much beta. They're still working on that product to get it out there, but VRChat is one of those people that use it, and it'll be pushed up automatically. You don't have to do anything, and you can go there and check them out. And then what we have here is it automatically randomly picking one from there and displaying it in a panosphere.
Cool.
And there's a little weirdness, but
hey, we're just here.
This whole floor thing is a little strange for me.
Wow.
Oh, what do you guys see? I don't know if we
Gunter's
see
universe.
Yeah,
no. Oh, now I see it. Okay, it's just a little, like, my internet must be a little slower and things are just a little behind. So yeah, awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Random people could just.
I remember this one.
Oh yeah, there's so many on there.
These things.
Yeah. If people have been taking panos and you were in there, I don't know if everybody knows about them. Oh yeah, the old little hangout.
Wow.
This is probably a meetup, I think, one Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we've been taking.
For some reason, I get a lag
tons of
spike every
panos.
time it changes. I don't know if that's just me.
No,
What is it?
It's not every time it changes.
You mean a little? Yeah, it does a little jerky thing there.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know this one. I mean, there's gonna be a ton of them. I don't know. So my feedback, I don't really care for the floor thing. I get why, these things are done. Some people, they get sick when they're the wherever the panel was taken, it might be disorienting. But I find it a little bit disorienting in itself. I don't know if you guys feel that way.
We're in the old hub.
This is a Beeple world.
It gives some ground.
Oh, this is not the hub for me. Shit. They're not on the same thing. Now I'm in the old hub. Okay.
I haven't seen any.
You're one picture behind.
Yeah, and I think I'm probably getting further behind as we go, it seems. That's the case.
McDonald's.
Now I'm in Minecraft.
Yeah, McDonald's.
Yeah,
you're in Minecraft now. Yeah, you're one
Oh,
behind.
that's awesome. It's the dialect of McDonald's.
McDonald's, that's awesome.
And I haven't been in
That was
any of these
fucking
worlds. I need to explore these worlds.
Yeah, this one's fun. Minecraft. The old Minecraft server that I talked about from 2013, somebody ripped that whole thing out, our specific VR server, from that day that after 6 months it was gone and never again. And so we could go to it in VRChat, and it was really great. I could give like this history tour of what was going on there. Hey, another Gunter universe for me. You guys just saw it.
Red.
I saw Snake there. Yeah.
What's in the box?
Cool.
What's in the box?
What's in the box is this Friday. If you haven't been a part of it, you should. They're team-based, so if you can get a little group of a team together, we meet here, and then everybody takes a chamber, and they go to the actual game where they're racing to get all the questions answered, and at the end, that's just the final room, and you get told if you were first, second, third, or whatever. And,
oh, it's fucking awesome.
It's fun. It's competition.
Like doing group events.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday. There's another event, competition, actually, Google Blocks competition.
That's what I like.
How long do these pictures go for, like on a timer?
Forever. Well, I mean, this looked like 8 seconds or something. Yeah, one before that was karaoke. Apparently looking at improv now. Yep. Yeah, this is.
There's a lot of people in VRChat.
Dude, there's a lot of people now, man. I don't know a lot. I basically don't really know.
I do like that. Like every time I can log on, I can see brand new people. It's like.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
Brand new people to torture and mess with.
I mean, but there's always also familiar faces. It's like.
Yeah, like my friend joined today. Like someone on my stream. He wanted to play the game, and I met him today. It was awesome. It's his first time today.
Okay, these are repeating. So, okay, there is this limited, I guess, pill price curated batch, which kind of makes sense that it's not just open and then somebody takes a shitty
week or whatever.
Yeah, and not just like say pick off the archive. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
with their porn pano.
Yeah, we don't need all the pictures of all like the people taking panos of upskirts.
Yeah. I mean, so I would like it, but that's not appropriate. I can't allow that. I can't allow that.
That's for the private rooms.
That's private rooms.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
That's for Gunter's universe only.
Fortunately, I'm not in those, man. I wish somebody was showing me their anime panty. No, I'm just kidding. Polecat, man, she was giant, and then she's like bending over in the presentation room, like drawing the board, and it's just this giant fucking panties and ass.
Just giving it away.
It's giant. You could step into that crotch. Alright, okay, let's get out of here. The arrow here points this way. And then to the center. We'll just walk. Why not? It's literally right there.
Oh, I grabbed something off the tree.
An apple? Is that GM?
I don't know.
Yeah.
3. You can eat it.
Put it towards you.
Floats.
Are you desktop?
Oh, I'm desktop.
Cool to see you. Walk. Why not? Bending over in the presentation room, like.
You're that.
There you go.
You're that guy from My Hero Academia, right?
So apparently, obviously I didn't witness it. At 10 o'clock, when Gunter's universe started, this became a giant beam of light. So, dude, letting people know there's an event that has started. Put it there. Go into this center portal. Hey, man. Yo, dude. Good to see you. Oh my god. Yeah. No. I like that. Yeah. Slap some skin. Boom. All right, man. That's right. Lo-fi. I love the lo-fi.
Hey guys, I saw your toy. I was like, I had a huge smile.
And then as you can see, there's the different links to the actual event rooms that happen.
Oh snap! It's Gunter.
They still need to be changed.
Gunter, what's
They're
up,
not
buddy?
quite there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mr. Meeseeks.
I haven't seen the beam yet. I haven't seen like the light beam to the event. Has anybody seen it yet? I haven't seen it. You saw it?
It's the thing.
It happened. I was the first beam. I'm so glad. At 10 p.m. when the show started. It apparently only stays for 10 minutes, which is interesting.
Nice.
And it doesn't really. It actually breaks down. We have so many people now. This whole idea sort of starts to break down a little bit. To just have the doors open, it just doesn't work that way. Once web panels are back, we have overflow theaters for these things. where you go watch the event on a screen with your friends, because you couldn't make it into the first instance of 50 people. That either it's first come first serve, or maybe there's tickets that you have to get from that event holder depending on what they want to do. Just having it completely open.
Instances?
It would. Yep, it would absolutely do that. But if more instances, you still wouldn't be able to see Gunter's Universe. You would see an empty Gunter's Universe. You would see you would see whoever made it there. So what needs to happen is overflow theater. So then in this case, what would need to happen too is after however many people were hit, it would then change this whoever made it there. Portal needs to happen instancing out. That's not there's nothing like that yet.
What and I are going to do is it'll work well with this. Okay. But the show that GM3 and I are going to do is we're going to have record ourselves performing so that the other instances have a performer on stage, and it's all automated, all the visuals. So that's
right.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Just like what you're saying, right?
Figure out how to.
Go for it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the main room, the private, one version of the room will have.